Welcome to Santa Barbara Talks with Josh Molina. It's such a pleasure today to be here at KIVA Cowork with my guest today. She is taking Santa Barbara by storm. Everybody is talking about her. She's all over social media, and she's it. She is so popular. This person is such a get for me to have on this show. I am so happy, so ecstatic to be able to have a conversation with the person who is telling Santa Barbara's stories, one social media video at a time. Please welcome Ari from Visionari Content.
Wow, what an intro. I don't even know. I don't even know. How do I live up to the intro? No, I think it's mutual, because when you reached out and you're like, do you want to go on the podcast? I was like, who's this Josh Molina guy? And I went to your profile and I found News Press and I found your Santa Barbara Talks. And I was like, oh my God, this guy has interviewed like everybody in the city. Like, who haven't you interviewed like you? So I'm honored to be another one of those people.
Well, thank you. Welcome to the show. It's so cool. I had you pop up on my Instagram reel, and as a journalist, it takes a few times to see a video and be like, well, okay, what is this person? What is going on here? And it's been kind of amazing to watch you grow and watch your content. Your stories tell Santa Barbara's history in a way that no one else can do it. And you are this very vibrant personality that is just perfect for learning about a variety of things in our community. So thank you for agreeing to be on the show and doing it in this classy way in person at KIVA Cowork. I appreciate it so much. So I just want to have a conversation with you today about Ari and Visionari Content and your rise and your background. So thank you so much for taking the time.
Well, no, my turn to thank you, because I was a little snobby about it. I was like, oh, we're going to do like a Zoom, you know, I think that's how you do your podcast. And I was like, but I have nice cameras. Can we please do the nice camera thing? I can set it up. I'll do the work. And I was like, I need some long form content, because I feel like a little superficial with people who follow me, because they don't, you just get like 2 minutes. You can't really get a good idea of who someone is from a couple of minutes. I know I would probably be curious, like, in their shoes of, like, who is this person? Can we trust her? Is she, like, actually? I think there's a lot of, especially with content creators, or, like, the dirty word influencers I don't like to use. But I think there's a lot of skepticism, and rightly so. I think it draws a certain type of person. But there's a lot of skepticism I'm met with now of, like, I don't know, like, oh, is she, like, of herself, you know, and maybe I am, and maybe this interview will reveal that. No, I'm just kidding, but hopefully not. But anyways,
yeah, I think we're going to get into all that. I'll share with you my first impressions and how sort of I've evolved in sort of my consumption of social media content and your content. We'll talk about all that, but let's just start off with, I'm a journalist. It's the lead, you lead with the most important thing. So let's just start off with the current moment, which is, I feel like you are leading this sort of wave of Santa Barbara content creators. There's a lot of people trying to do a lot of things out there, and you're at the top of the list because you've been able to really resonate on a lot of different levels. You have your Santa Barbara history stuff you do. You have clients. You have people who you do social medias for. You do stuff that you're just sort of like interested in. You do it for fun. And it's really good. It's really, the video production, of course, is amazing. But, you're funny, you're smart, you're nice, you have this warm personality. And I don't know, I don't feel like you take yourself too seriously. I feel like you're very engaging and authentic. And I think a lot of people feel that way. And so now, sort of automatic, when you post something, it's like thousands and thousands of people, sometimes a lot more, are going to see that. And you've sort of blown up. You've taken off, and everyone's talking about you. And you're probably getting recognized on the street. People are sort of coming up to you. This is an incredible moment for you. And I'm just really happy to see that. And it's just so cool because I know that this doesn't happen to everybody, and you've worked so hard. So what's it like, Ari, to be you right now in this moment?
In this moment, I don't know. I still feel like I'm living in like a parallel universe. Like this wasn't supposed to happen. Like there was like some like mistake. Because I wasn't trying to be top influencer or be like, I just wanted a few more eyeballs on my business. And I wanted to share the stories of the history of Santa Barbara, or just like little things that have perplexed me throughout my years being here. Like the underpass under Castillo. And turns out a lot of people have been wondering about the underpass, and it turns out a lot of people care deeply about not only the city, but like the centuries of history behind it. And that kind of shocked me. That's not your question though. Let me try to not be like, they're like, what do they say? Don't answer the question. Answer what you wish they asked you.
I have a lot of time today.
I don't want to do that. I want to answer your question. What is it like to be me right now? I guess it is pretty open-ended.
Well, you did say it feels like you're living in a parallel universe. So what does that mean? What's happening that makes you feel that way?
Well, I've kind of experienced a microcosm of fame, I guess, of like people coming up to me. I've had people take pictures with me. Like just people telling me that I'm their favorite local celebrity. People telling me that they love the videos, and it's like kind of like, whoa, what life am I living? Like I'm just making these videos. I feel like just business as usual. I've been making videos my whole life. I've been making videos. I've been editing some videos since I was 10 years old, and filming since I was about 4, basically since I could hold a camera. And it's just like the different, and I've always liked sharing those videos with people. So sharing them on this big of a scale is really cool, but also very overwhelming. And then you have it going to all sorts of people and from all walks of life. And, you know, some people have some demons in there. They want to take it. They just feel like taking it out on you and then and there. And so I think it was really tough at first. But slowly I'm getting used to it, and I'm grateful for it. It's helped me like skyrocket my business. I tell people I can skyrocket. I can no takes. Can't do takes on the podcast.
No, that's for the bloopers.
The blooper reel. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. This is why I have to edit myself. But you can
help people with their business.
Oh yeah. Well, this is why I'm like so confident that I can help people skyrocket their own business and their own organization on social media, because I did it for myself and I've done it for other businesses. And like social media is so powerful. And if you understand that too late, you will fall behind. And so that's what I'm showing people. Like, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I did have some clients in the past where I felt like they weren't listening to me. I felt like I wasn't being heard, my ideas. And I said, you know what? I'm going to blow up myself. Yeah. I didn't know it was going to be like this. But I was kind of like, just to prove it, like, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that's really impressive about you, because there's a lot of people who show up on our Instagram feeds. There's people who are doing a variety of types of content. But you're like smart science about it. Like you aren't just somebody who blew up overnight because you got viral on sort of some weird question. You have been working at this and you study this, and it is your business, it is your job, and you really know what you're doing beyond just the high quality of your videos. So that really shows, and somehow I think the algorithms know that. And so you are the best example of what you can do for a client. Let's talk about your first video that blew up, the one where you noticed the views were going up and the engagement and the comments, because that's sort of a pivotal moment when you go from being, people like me, to holy cow, people are going to know about me and they're going to recognize me, and you have to sort of deal with that. What was that first video? What was that moment like for you? And how did you sort of go through those 24 hours when you're watching the view count go up?
Well, I actually had some practice because I shot the Maroon 5 pop-up concert at Validation Ale.
Yeah.
And Validation posted it, and they invited, I think, Maroon 5 and Adam Levine to collaborate. And then, so I was like really proud of what I had made overnight. I had to, basically I filmed it that day. I went to a friend's birthday party, and then I left early to edit until like 2 or 3 in the morning. And go through 3 cameras worth of footage and then get it to them by the next morning, and then they uploaded it. And so I was like dead tired, and I think I went back to sleep, and then I saw they posted it, and then I saw Adam Levine had accepted the collab, and I like almost fainted because I was like, whoa, I know what this means. I was like, a lot of people are going to see my video now. And also it felt good of like, oh, like one of the main people that I'm like representing, like basically endorses this video and liked it enough to want to share it on his page. So I felt very complimented by that. And the videographer of Maroon 5 reached out to me too. Yeah. And so it was just kind of a whirlwind of like cool. And I was like, whoa, this is probably going to get like 1 million. So I'm going to have like 1 million views. And then I'll admit, like I was hooked. Like it got me. Like I was refreshing the page like a drug addict. Like you're just like, you're like, whoa, how many views? How many likes? Oh, the comments now. Like, whoa, what are people saying? Oh, this is crazy. Do people know this is me behind this? And at some point you just kind of have to like chill out. But I was like, and now you could tell, okay, it's not going to get to 1 million, but it did do really well. And then I was like, what are all these comments in Spanish? Or were they in Portuguese? I don't remember. He like upset some country in Latin America. I don't know. He like showed up late to a concert. Okay. And they never forgave him basically. And so every time his comments are open, his comment section is open, they just flood with like, we'll never forget, or they put recipes. I don't know. They're just trying to spam, but I'm like, your spamming is actually helping his engagement. Anyways, getting really off topic, but that's how my brain works. But essentially, yeah, that was my first experience of going viral. Can I ask you a
question there? Because I remember like on a Sunday night or something like that, looking at my phone and being like, oh, Maroon 5 was in Santa Barbara at this like pop-up concert. And, you know, so I'm a journalist. And so the first thing I'm thinking is, well, that would have been cool to have, but we didn't really know about it. But you knew about it. You had cameras set up. So you were popular enough at this point in time that Validation Ale or whoever was in charge there made a decision to, hey, we should get Visionari Content out here. Can you talk about that? How did you know that they were there?
My friend referred me. So I had never worked with them, but they were just kind of last minute, maybe like a week prior, and they were like, yeah, well, someone big is coming to town. We can't tell you who. We had to sign an NDA. But like, are you willing to do this? What's the rate? Blah, blah, blah. And we just had a quick phone call, and then I was like, hey, I'll show up with 2 other people, and we'll get good coverage and make it real. And yeah.
And are you a Maroon 5 fan?
I'm not like a hardcore fan, but I was as a kid, I liked, you know, a few of their songs, and I made some little music videos to like at least songs Adam Levine was in. And so that was fun little full circle moment of like, little Ari used to make silly little music videos. Right. And then I got to make one, and then he shared it, and it was cool.
Exactly. Well, it all starts with somebody doing one thing, right? You don't know in the moment what it's going to happen, but you have to take that first step. So you do this, and this helps you because people see the Maroon 5 video, they see your name, you're collaborating with them, and that sort of helps you blow up. But
actually, no.
No. Okay.
Nope, not at all. So that's why I say, like, going viral to the wrong audience really doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Like, I got a bunch of Maroon 5 super fans following me. Did that help? Like, do they care about the Santa Barbara secret stuff? No. Do they care about pretty drone shots of Santa Barbara? Probably not. I don't know, maybe a little bit, but like, it's not the right audience. So that was a fun lesson. I don't know. I would just say, people are like, oh, that must have blown you. Like, I got no jobs from that, directly or indirectly. Okay. I think most people don't even know that was me still. Just because people don't look. I mean, there was like 4 different collaborators on that post. Yeah.
So you're saying before you blew up, you had that experience. And then what was the video that sort of got you noticed?
So I guess, there's one thing blowing up, a video you made that doesn't have your face, and then there's another one blowing up that has you as a person in it.
Yeah.
And that's a lot more vulnerable. And it was a little scary, actually. It was the Elings Park video. There is an article about how it used to be a landfill. I used to live over there, so that's why I was in a particular interest. I used to go there all the time. I go running, walking, biking, all the stuff. And it's like, I was like, whoa, crazy. This is like, how many people, do people know this used to be a landfill? I was like, I didn't know. And so I just put together a little video. I decided I had like some ideas. I guess I filmed 3 of them in one day. It was like, what was it? Veterans Day? What's the one in November?
Veterans Day.
Yeah. Veterans Day. So I had a little more extra time, kind of a day off. So I filmed that one. I filmed the Haley Street, and I filmed the underpass all one day by myself. And I was like, this was so much fun. I had so much fun. I was like, I don't even care if no one watches these. I just had so much fun today being creative. And like, if one person learns something from this, that will make my day. That will make my life. And even if it doesn't even help my business, I was like, I don't even care. This is so fun. Because I've always loved educational videos, and I've always just loved, watching them and then being able to make them. Anyways, so trying to go back to your question. It was kind of crazy because it blew up. It was like 40K or something. Maybe it was like 20 or 30, and then it grew over time. But waking up to that was like, whoa, what's going on? And then you have some kind of mean comments, and people were like, go back to Arkansas. Like, if you don't like it, get out. And I was like, where is this coming from? And then some people were like, go check your facts better, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, like, I think my facts are pretty vetted. Like, I double checked, but everyone has different sources too. And I don't know, just the way it was communicated to me was not very nice.
And you found out that Elings Park is built on a landfill, right? It's a dump.
Yeah, it was a dump. The old dump, people were commenting. And then some people were like, yes, I knew that. It's like, you don't know what tone people are. Sometimes it's like, yeah, I knew that. And sometimes like, I knew that. Some people were like, I knew that. That's nothing new. Like, this is no secret, I think was the one. I was like, it's just like a marketing thing, Santa Barbara secrets. Like, some people know it, of course. So I was like struggling with that. I was struggling with, because for the last year, pretty much, I was just posting to people I know. When you're just posting to people you know, it's like very supportive.
Yeah.
And like, there's no hate. People aren't hating on you. It's a small community, Santa Barbara, everyone, But then it started showing to like unknown people, and then that's when you get the like trolls and the weird stuff. But like, there was no like middle ground. It was just like, oh, you're in the deep end now.
Yeah.
And you're, there's just no kind of middle ground. And that's what I have kind of a problem with, is like, you can't dial it back. You can't be like, okay, can we go less viral? Thanks. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't do that.
So as a journalist, I know how hard it is to research, report. You got to dig, then you got to write. if you get the slightest thing wrong, people freak out on you. And, you know, it's like I always say, how many mistakes did you make at work today? And how many know about it outside of the four walls of where you work? It's the difference between what I do and what you do. Like if I make a mistake, yes, it's a mistake. Everyone knows about it. So don't judge me. It's like a different level.
Yeah, I'm sure you've gone viral in your own kind of way, right? The stories that get, and then they get a lot of comments or...
Yeah, well, you know, I have a little bit of a words platform. I have the video platform, a little bit of social media, but people love to criticize anybody who is doing anything they're not doing, and it's most pronounced on social media. But yes, I have my most viewed podcast is with a guy who's an environmental doomer, and he's actually an environmentalist, but his take is more extreme than environmentalists. You know, he thinks that we have to be thinking about what we're going to be doing for the next species that is going to survive, not humans. It's like all of this, who don't even watch the podcast, they just like look at the headlines. Like they don't listen to all of his environmental tips. There's stuff like that. But then it's just getting a fact wrong in a story or like a title wrong, and it is what it is. But what I noticed about you is like, I appreciate what you do because I'm watching these videos. I'm like, there's no way that took her 10 minutes on her phone. That is a lot of work. It's a lot of research, and I can tell you care. So what we see in the video is so small compared to all the research you did, and that's like a skill. How do I edit this down? Can you talk to me about your process, your work? How do you find things? How do you decide what to use, and then how do you decide what to communicate? Because it is social media. You can't bore people, and you're never boring. So how do you do it?
I have a list, a very secret list. Now I have people now coming up to me all the time giving me ideas.
Oh boy.
Which I want to talk to you about because I do love ideas. I do love when people come to me with new things I didn't know. I don't want to tell people to stop that. What I do want to tell people to stop doing is the entitlement of here's what you should do. I have someone for you. You need to do this. It's like, I'm going to do something if I want to do it. And yeah, like it's kind of like there's like, you should do this. And then there's like, you should do this. You know what I mean? Where it's kind of more aggressive and it's more like, anyways. So that happened to me yesterday and I was kind of like, you know, I'm like, yeah, like, oh.
You're going to pay me $10,000
yeah,
to do
exactly.
this?
It's like, if it's exactly what you want, your vision, it's like, this is going to cost you and you need a budget for it. And I'm probably happy to do it for the right price. But, yeah, just kind of like the people. I mean, does that happen to you? I'm sure they're like, oh, you got to write a news story about this, or you missed this, or like, why are you not doing this?
Yeah. Well, the thing that you mentioned where people will say, that's not new. I knew that. So there's a ton of that. You know, it's like, okay, we're not, the thing of journalism is you're not writing for one person. You're writing for the masses, for everybody. So, of course, there are people who know things already. It's not like there's some science breakthrough. It's like we're telling the stories of our community. But yes, there are people all the time. My email inbox, oh, why don't you do this? Do this. And then if I'm in a good mood, I'll be like, great, thank you. If I'm annoyed and I'll be like, here are the 7 values of news. And here's what's something that makes newsworthy content. And if it hits just one, it's probably not news. If it hits all, it is news. It's usually the spots where it's like 3 or 4, they're like subjective. And so I give them like a little lesson and then they go away.
Wait, can we get that lesson? I want to hear that lesson.
Yeah, definitely. Well, like conflict is the number one thing. If there's a conflict, people care about. It's newsworthy, okay? So some of the things you're thinking about, maybe you didn't think initially it had conflict, but they did. They do, right? Emotions, right? Do people feel something when they watch it, when they read it? Immediacy. So in news, is it timely? We are not writing about the World Cup from 8 years ago. We're writing about the one from today, okay? Proximity. You're telling Santa Barbara stories, not stories in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, you have to have a local tie to what you do. Prominence, stories involving celebrities, Maroon 5, right? That there may not be conflict with the Maroon 5 thing, but there's prominence, so people are going to enjoy that. There's impact, right? The stuff like the big change. Oh, Santa Barbara's going to open State Street. That's impact. That's actually all 7 news values, because that's like conflict, and everything else, right? And I think that's all. Oh, novelty is the last one. Novelty is what you sort of focus on. It's like, why is the Castillo underpass so wet all the time? Or what is the deal with this house at Franceschi Park? Or what's the deal with the breakwater? The breakwater one, I got to say, was amazing, because I love the breakwater, go there all the time. I love getting splashed, take my kids there, the whole thing. But in that video, there's so much like, holy cow, if we didn't have the breakwater, we wouldn't have City College, or, there's all this stuff, that you just learn from it. So
did you know that? Or
no, I didn't know that.
Really? Okay.
I thought the breakwater was built so
Perfectly.
we could have a harbor
Yeah.
and we could shield the boats there. And I'm a journalist who's written about the harbor and the breakwater for forever. And so those 7 news values, right? So if I'm being a jerk, I'll like list that, and then they'll calm down and go away. Like, oh, that sort of thing. So you have a list. You go through the process. Do you use books? Do you use people? Do you do interviews? There's so much rich content in these. Where do you get it? I know you source in your videos, but talk a little bit about your process.
Yeah, I do a lot of Googling.
Yeah.
I check the sources. It ends up being a lot of news hawk. It ends up being a lot of independent news press, right?
Uh-huh.
Ends up being Historical Museum, Presidio, even the Mission and stuff. LLMs have been really helpful because it aggregates everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then it also lists the sources, so you can go check and read the sources. So it definitely speeds up the process. There's also Walter Tompkins, obviously. There's Neil Graffey and his YouTube videos. I've watched his YouTube videos, and he does a cool talk on the streets of Santa Barbara, the history of the street names. And I went to a talk in person. He disagrees actually with one of my videos. He disagrees. Well, he didn't say, I don't know if he's seen my videos, but in his talk, he was like, because I use Walter Tompkins' research about the Haley's, like the stretching and shrinking
the uneven
of the
streets,
the rawhide for the streets. And he thinks that's too simplistic of an explanation. And he has this other explanation for it that I can't even repeat. But I'm like, Walter Tompkins is dead, so he can't really they can't duke it out. But I'm like, there are different perspectives of it. So that would be the only one of my videos that's probably a little more contested or a little bit more lore-esque.
Yeah.
Everything else, I double, triple check on things because I'm like terrified of being wrong or mischaracterizing someone or all that stuff. And that's really hard to do when you're making a 2-minute video, 1 to 2 minutes. But.
And it's really impressive. It's you. It's just you. Like you go out there, you do this, you edit, you're out at Franceschi Park till the sun goes down.
Yeah. I occasionally will have someone helping me film.
Oh,
But I direct, I point the camera, I want it here, I frame it.
Yeah.
And basically, they're just there making sure the audio levels work and everything is in focus. So, but I choose the shots and I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk from here and I block everything. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this and blah, blah, blah. So it is me directing myself and doing the cinematography, even if I'm not filming myself. So that's why it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of annoying. I think people assume that a lot of times people assume that I'm not doing everything. And I think there's a surprise, as a woman in film. And I wish that wasn't the case, but there's a surprise of you did that? Just because there's less women in film. But I think there's more and more now impressive women filmmakers. But I think there's kind of this, they don't really believe that you're good until they've seen your work. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, and I hate to say that, and I hate to believe that, because when I started off, I was like, I'm just going to pretend, we're all equal and everyone thinks no one has any sort of biases like that. But unfortunately it's revealed that people do.
Yeah. Well, let's go there, okay? Because this is one of my topics I want to ask you about. So forgive me if anyone thinks I'm boundary crossing here, but
he's not boundary crossing. He brought this up to me beforehand. It's okay. Don't come after him. He's a good dude.
Yes. Well, thank you for that. Because sometimes as like a older male, ask these kind of questions to people and they're like, why are you asking that? It's like, the answer is I'm a journalist and I'm curious. So, you've exploded here onto the scene and everyone's sort of talking about your content. They see it. You can't like do anything. If you're on Instagram in Santa Barbara, you're seeing your stuff and whether they follow you or not. What's it like to be a woman in this role, so visible, so exposed, so vulnerable? And the reason I ask this is because I know me being out there, I get a ton of criticisms for a variety of things, a ton of hate, but I don't get the stuff that you probably get, which is a certain kind of a double standard, a certain kind of skepticism, possibly a judgmental of the aesthetic. I don't have, I mean, I shouldn't say I don't have, but you probably have a lot more people sliding into your DMs, like asking you weird things, stuff that a lot of like males may not have to deal with, or maybe not. Maybe everything's perfect. I don't know. But can you talk about what it's like to be a woman and in this very high-profile, popular public space, and just how you grapple with that?
Yeah, I've like never been a man content creator, so I don't know. But I've worked with some, and I'm basically creating some with my videos. Mm-hmm. And so I'm kind of seeing the difference. And I don't know. I'm not going to name any names, but this one guy gets a lot of, this guy content creator gets a lot of women like asking me if he's single, asking him, I think sliding into his DMs in person, asking him out. I think he's been asked out more than me anyways. But like, I think it's not actually as, it's not as much as people would think. I mean, definitely, I think there's people reaching out to me all the time, wanting to connect with me or like giving me compliments or being like, you gotta, mostly, I think most of it is like, you gotta do a video on this. Uh-huh. And then a lot of times it is a good idea, but I just don't have time or motivation at that moment. And I gotta kind of be careful what I do. Anyways, to answer your question, I think the biggest difference would be as a woman, you get looked at a lot more walking around, especially a young woman. People just kind of like stare. And then when I started like being more visible, like blowing up online, I noticed more people were looking at me than usual. When you walk down, there's more eye contact, staring. Mm-hmm, more women and men. Like it was like, and so then it's like, okay, are you checking me out? Are you like, do you recognize me? Do I know you from somewhere? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know what this look is. And then you kind of, after a while, pattern recognition, you kind of tell the look of like, oh, I think they recognize me from the videos. Yeah. Versus like, they're just being creepy. So I guess that would be, but I don't really notice anymore. I think in the beginning I was really hyper vigilant about everything. I felt like I was just being watched all the time when that started happening. And it's kind of freaky Truman Show situation. But then now I just go about my life and I'm just like, I just assume nobody recognizes me or whatever. And that's, I don't know, easier. And I'm just like kind of surprised. I mean, I went to Tino's yesterday to get a sandwich. And the girl that made my sandwich was, you do the videos, right? Nice. Like, yeah. So, and I like everyone I meet, I want to like talk to for like 20 minutes and get their life story. Yeah. It's kind of frustrating that I can't always because like they're working or I have to go or whatever. I think people are surprised when I want to stop and chat. I don't want to just a hi. I want to like get to know who's like watching me, who likes the stuff. Like, yeah, tell me your life story. Right. I think that's actually one of the most frustrating things now is like 99% of the people who come up to me are super cool and I would be friends with. And because you like attract what you put out kind of thing. But maybe, I don't know how you feel about, getting stopped.
Well, I want to stick with this and then answer that first. But do you think the algorithm recognizes women in a way that's different than men, or is it just young faces different than men, or do you think that there's a technology thing that favors a certain type of face on social media?
I think young, attractive people probably do better.
And that's like
not necessarily. I think it definitely skews that way, and that's also more of the population that's on there. I'd like to read more studies into that before I make any kind of claims about that. But like, is that how you feel? I don't know.
I don't feel that way, but I've been told by young people that young, attractive people do better on the algorithm on social media. And so, one, I'd like to know how it like determines what's attractive, because it's such a subjective thing. And two, there's a lot of like just content creators who I would not say are attractive, who are super popular because they just have something different. Like their content's unique. Yeah. There's something cool about them. And so, I don't know. I feel like what drives it is how engaging is your content, more so than, because otherwise we would have a whole bunch of people just posting all the time and they'd all be popular, and that's not what we see.
Yeah. Where are all the Instagram girls from like 2016? Oh, here's my matcha. Here's my outfit of the day. They're all gone. Exactly. They're all gone. And we're all better off for it. I always hated that. Yeah. I think actually this is my hot take. I get really like the whole like young women or like teenagers comparing themselves on social media and like how like bullying and all that stuff, and I'm sure there's probably still a lot of that. But I think the worst of it was when people were posting like their bikini pics or their travel pics. Like when I was growing up in high school, it was just the entire feed was just like hot girls in your class, like just like showing off their like whatever. And it's not that anymore. It's kind of a curated, like, what do you find interesting? Yeah. And so I'm very happy about that. And people are like, oh, bring back the old algorithm. But I'm like, do you remember what it was? It was like, I would much rather show my travel pics to my friends, like, in person than, like, posting. Anyways, there's my little rant.
Yes. What do people say to you? Are people mean to you? Do they like comment you directly on things that are you'd consider offensive, like not your content, or do they? Give us like a aggregated summary of the mean stuff people say to you online.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, because you're too popular now.
I don't know. Like, am I untouchable now? No, I actually miss them. I miss the mean comments. Bring them back. Oh. Made me feel so important. No, I'm just kidding. But people don't really, it's interesting, people don't really DM me mean stuff. It's like usually comments. Okay. And there's been no comments on my appearance, which has been interesting. Maybe it's like small community, wholesome vibes here in Santa Barbara. But I expected like hate on how I look. Maybe people are just saying it in their head. I don't know what they would say, but I feel like as a woman, that's kind of, you're just kind of used to that. Or like you see other public figures getting like made fun of or called things, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen. But actually, it hasn't happened. So now it's gonna happen. Maybe now people are gonna. Oh, no. No, I'm just kidding.
They know better. We'll out them.
you got the wholesome audience of nice people. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think the mean comments that actually the stuff that gets to me is just the arrogance of people. I do a lot of research, and I do double, triple check and get as many sources as I can. But then someone will have read an article that's like a little wrong, or just like they don't have the full picture, and I have a bigger picture than they do, but they don't realize, and they comment something about it kind of arrogantly of like, you have this wrong. Yeah. And because then I'm like, did I get it wrong? I get like scared. I'm like, oh my God. Because I try to be, I don't know the word. I try to be do my due diligence or whatever. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm like, and then I double, triple check, and I'm like, you know what? No, I was right. And it's just really frustrating. Or like, even like when I did, and I don't think people mean it in a mean way sometimes, but it's like, maybe just have some intellectual humility. Like the bells thing, when I said the bells are fake.
Oh.
People are like, no, they're not. I've seen them. I'm like, no, that's just like an illusion. Anyways, and so that's, I have to like, I don't necessarily have to. Or just on TikTok. I think people are worse on TikTok.
Are they? Okay.
I don't know why. I've heard this from a lot of content people. Yeah, people are weirder on TikTok. Or they're just more unhinged and they're just more, I don't know why that is, but.
So.
Wait, can I ask you? What are some mean, because people can write comments in the news, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You got some, what do you get that you don't like?
Well, we did a video the other day about like the 5 best things about Isla Vista in the summer. And like someone commented.
Oh, I saw that one.
And someone commented like, this literally happens every year. This is the news, you know. And it's like, okay, because you know about it. I guess everyone else on the planet does. And also, everything's happened before. It's a retelling. It's different. It's a unique angle. It's fresh.
It was nice. It was a nice reminder that like IV is empty right now.
I love Ivy in the summer. I live near there, and it's like you can just park and you can walk. You can go to the beach. You can just breathe. You can go to the disc golf course. You can just it's so fun to do that sort of thing. People with news, it's a little bit different because people just kind of debate what's newsworthy and what's not constantly, or they feel like you're being too you only focus on the negative, or why won't you cover this story? And it's like people don't understand that there's no one out there who says, here's your stories for the day, now just publish them. Like this is an art. You have to have people to report, and then those people have to have skills to find things, and then you've got to figure out if you've got to try to make people talk to you, and sometimes they don't want to talk to you, and therefore you get a story that is based off of your effort, not necessarily the totality of what needs to be told, because it's a process. Like and then there's a deadline. You can't just wait forever. You have to get it out. And so every little day you're sort of chipping away at the truth. This is the most truth we know right now. We're going to publish. There may be more. We're going to figure that out tomorrow. So I get sort of that kind of stuff. With my social media content, most people will comment about the source, or I've had people say, oh, it was a boring interview, or I tend to do this a lot. I actually get this comment a lot, so this is a good one. Why do you touch your face all the time in your podcasts? And I have different answers for that. I don't know.
Everyone touches their face. That's a human thing.
I don't know. I do.
I can't believe these people.
So yeah, I touch my face a lot. I do talk with my hands. Most of the time, people think I'm too soft on somebody, or I'm too inconsistent. Like, oh, you're really hard on this person. I have had a little bit of the sexism comments come up. Like sometimes, oh, well, why did you ask them that? You didn't ask a man that. And my answer to that is like every interview is unique. I don't have like 20 questions we ask the same person every time, because every person's story is unique. And I ask some tough questions of everybody, so I think I'm an equal opportunity boundary pusher. So there's that. But I still get a little bit of that, but I'm a journalist. Like I am genuinely curious. I want to know as much as possible, because I believe you don't really like somebody when you only see the surface. I don't care about just the surface. For me to bond with you or connect with you, I need to know what you've overcome, because that shows your strength, your adversity, your durability. That's what's interesting to me. Not like, for example, with you, when we had coffee, if you were like perfect and on point with talking points the whole time, may not have led to this conversation. But you weren't like that. Some people are like that. they're scripted. They're always on point. It's like, that's a much harder thing to get into. And so if anybody criticizes me, it's usually because I'm so raw, like authentic. I try to be authentic. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care if you don't like my questions. I want you to know my guest. That's my goal. And so I get some of, people do all that, but it's fine. Most people like my stuff, so it's not an issue. But occasionally, there's people. Plus, I'm a journalist, and when I write, I offend people. Like, if you're not making people uncomfortable in your news, you're probably not doing a good job. Not every story. You don't set out to hurt people, but sometimes the subject matter is such that people don't want that information shared, or they disagree with it, or they don't like how it was presented. So I do have people that just may not like Josh, so then they're like, we'll find some other way to criticize me. Let's talk a little bit, Ari, about your business. You have two guys who you kind of platform a lot. Sam is one of them. And you've done a lot, it seems, for their business. The first one that I saw was the Habit in Goleta video. There's a person who you do videos. I think he's a permitter. I forget his name.
Tristan.
And you're doing amazing things for them. They are becoming their own little celebrities on social media because you make them look so wonderful with your videos. So let's understand this. There's Visionari Content. You have your content, Santa Barbara Secrets. You tell the history, fun stuff. But you're actually working here. It's not a vanity project for you. Can you talk about your business and what you do for clients?
Yeah, I think people don't realize that Sam and Tristan and also Marina now, and I also did a collab with Star Cycle, and I'm going to do a collab with B Cycle here in a little bit. These are kind of, I have to use the word, influencer partnerships, and I'm helping lift up other businesses with my platform and help them be more visible. So Sam, some people think him and Tristan, they're like, oh, they're copying you. It's like, no, those are my clients. I created the system and I said, hey, rinse and repeat. Do this with your business. Do it how you want to do it. Tell the stories you want to tell locally or whatnot. I guess my whole thing, I realized you can do three things simultaneously. You can grow your business. You can give value to the community, and I forgot what the third one is. But you can do both at once. I guess grow your brand. What was my other one? I guess make more money. I guess would be another. But all these things go hand in hand of helping the community can also help your business, which I think people don't think about a lot when social media is very me. That's the stuff that doesn't work anymore. Yeah. How can you give back to your community in a consistent kind of way? For the permitting thing, I was like, why don't we tell people what projects are going on? And little rules too. I'd love to do more know your rights as a tenant, or know your just know the rules for, I don't know, especially Santa Barbara, because it's really weird. Where is the historic district? Where is it hard to get permits? Oh, yeah. And then Sam does the more
El
business.
Pueblo Viejo district. Different standards.
Yeah, different standards. Really tough. And then he's the expert in that, so he can really say this is the correct research. And anyways, Sam is a holding company, so he is just big business guy, and so he he's got a great story, and I don't know if everyone knows, but he would be interesting to have on your podcast too. He buys businesses to keep them local and keep the same workers in the community, because he's seen when the opposite happens. Yeah. And you sell to a big corporate and they change everybody. And people who've worked at a company for 20 years now can't stand it and leave because of all the changes. And they come in and they make all these changes in the company tanks, or the reputation tanks. So he's anti that. He was very buy the business that's working and keep it working as it is. and preserve the legacy of the family or the private owners.
That's so cool. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's really in line with Santa Barbara too, and how small business focused it is here and community focused. But that wasn't the question. What was the question?
So you have people like Sam and Tristan who are your clients who pay you to create videos with them in it that help their business. So that's a real value. That's what I was saying is that's not a vanity project where you're going on social media to post 30 seconds of you look at me. You're working, right? So you have clients, and then you named a couple of names that more recently. So talk to me a bit about that. Like, how did you develop that side of your business? People are seeing your videos. They don't really know your total backstory, which we're kind of unraveling right now. How did you start your business? How did this grow?
Well, I've been in business for a good amount of time, considering my age. I started in 2020. It was Visionari Media.
Oh.
That's what it was called. And so sometimes I accidentally say that. It slips out. But I saw a rebrand opportunity when the content word became a buzzword. Oh. And so I changed it to Visionary Content. Also, I lost my Instagram. That's a whole story. I don't know if I've told you about that. Oh. Visionary Media was banned.
Oh, no.
Anyways.
What
did I do? I know. Blame the victim. Victim blame. Josh,
I thought you weren't going to get me canceled, Mary.
No, I started. So this is actually kind of secret. Talk about a Santa Barbara secret. There was this account, some people might remember, Santa Barbara Community Events. That was me, and I had no face. I haven't told this publicly.
Breaking news.
Visionary
Content.
Yeah. And it wasn't as popular as Mike. It was like I got up to like 800 followers or something, but it was growing pretty fast, and I was working really hard. Every day I would post what events were going on. Like I thought it was a curated account of all the cool events that are happening every day. Yeah. And so you could check. And my friends, it was mostly for my friends, and then it just grew. And someone made a Reddit, I found out it was Oscar Gutierrez, made a Reddit post about it. Eventually he was like, what happened to the community, Santa Barbara community events post? They were posting great stuff. I posted, I don't know why, to this day I don't know why, but one of my last posts was, I think like the drag show that happened at Wildcat.
Oh, okay.
It was like in the carousel.
I remember that, yeah.
And that was it. I'm like, I think they flagged it for something inappropriate. Because I can't think of anything else that it would be, which is really unfortunate. And I tried everything to get it back, and I wasn't paying for like premium, which is why I tell everybody, pay for Meta, like the premium thing. It's like an insurance policy.
I have to do that.
You got to do that, because if you don't, they don't care. If you're not a paying customer, they're not going to help you if your account. And it still happens to this day. I think there was a time it was happening more. Was that like 2 years ago? People's dog's account got shut down, and you couldn't get it back. I tried to dispute it over and over and over, and it just didn't work. Anyways, but that was the best thing that actually happened to me, because it cut off all the dead weight. It cut off all the people from high school who were following me and just like watching and not engaging. It's like engagement, like per follower, like the ratio is like went up because I like started over. Yeah. That's why you see new accounts grow really fast now, and it's pretty hard to liven up like an old account. That's why you guys are at a really good spot as a news press, because you're like starting over. Yeah. Which is actually like it's really
it's good. It's crazy how much it's growing every day. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
Tell me about it.
It doesn't matter what we post either. Like we post something well produced, we post raw copy or raw video. We go like a little talking in the newsroom, and people love it. We're gaining followers like 100 a day or something like that, and some more than that. If we have a big news event, it just keeps growing, and so we are trying to. I don't really. So
you're gonna pass me very soon.
Never.
And you should. It makes like that's what I was saying. I think when I first met with you, I was like, the news has. If anyone's gonna explode on social media, it's the news. It's share worthy. It's save worthy. Yeah. That's exactly what the algorithm. It's like watch time. It's like it's got all the things that you mentioned, like conflict, blah blah blah, blah everything that people are.
Yeah. We get a lot of engagement. Like maybe not as many followers as some other people, but we have our highest level of engagement in terms of people liking, sharing, commenting, and that sort of thing. So you do wonders for your clients, right? And this is a business. You started in 2020, and you must have had, all businesses have lessons they've learned from things that didn't work out. You had your first Visionari media site. You had this other site sort of taken down. Talk to me about growing from 2020 to where you're at now.
So I graduated film school. Well, it was like city college, so pretty chill. But during COVID, so I had the COVID graduation on YouTube, which I was actually thrilled about because I don't like these like traditional things.
You don't want to walk.
I don't want to. It's like hot. You get to sit out in the sun for 4 hours just to walk across the stage. I was thrilled to not have to do that. Hot take, but also it's like city college. Anyways, so I was like already starting to get jobs in college. I had basically 2 clients. I had this course teaching mindfulness and meditation to high school students, and I still work with them. It was with the UCSB Department of their Center for Mindfulness and Human Potential, and so that was a big client. And then also this home goods client who, like a few years later, scaled to like $1 million and like sold and moved to New York. But I was like, whoa, I basically have a business. I accidentally have a business from referrals from people in town who are like, you should work with this girl. Like, she works hard and she like is talented or whatever. And so I had a business accidentally. I was like, cool, let me just make it official. Like, call it an LLC, which was kind of a mistake. I didn't need an LLC. That's just more expensive than I needed at the time.
$800.
Yeah, I wasn't really, no one's going to sue me. Anyways, I didn't need to do that. But so I, starting in COVID is hard because networking was all online. Yeah. And so it was kind of a slow start. But my friend Melissa had a camera. I didn't own a camera. So we partnered because I had like more of the editing skills and she had the shooting. And so we like combined forces and worked together starting Visionari Media. And she was really good too at Melissa, if you're listening, I appreciate you. She was really good too at like getting reviews from people, like doing kind of the like behind the scenes stuff that I wasn't as good at doing. So we complemented each other really well, and I think that helped. And I just love the editing and process of that. But it was still not super profitable. I like started working at the farmer's market because we weren't really making enough, and I needed to survive. And then I pivoted to social media. I'm like, am I missing something? I guess there was a kind of a middle ground where I started getting bigger jobs, and it would be like 3-minute or 10-minute videos. But I really don't like doing those because it's just so long. And I think I just like doing the quick little things. Maybe like it's my undiagnosed ADHD or something. But anyways, so I think I listened to a podcast. I'm a big podcast junkie. And it was like it was like a production guy, and he was like, medium-sized production houses are like on the decline. can't do that. Can't, because that's kind of where I was moving into. I was like, do I want to have like a production company? And he was like, content is the future. Like if you like it or not, you have to, if you want to make any money in this industry, you have to pivot to vertical. And I hated social media and I hated vertical.
Wow.
Like a lot of videographers.
Yeah.
And because it like you lose so much information.
Yeah.
And it's like you feel like you're confined to a little box. Yeah. But in that moment he convinced me and I was like, he's right. Like it or not, this is where the industry is going. And I was like, maybe I can have fun with it. And I grew to like it. I grew to love it, actually. Yeah. I don't want to go back. I can see that there's a lot of problems with it, too. But I think you can also be the solution. And I think, the change can come from the inside. Like, instead of producing brain rot stuff. Although I like some of that stuff. It's funny. But if you produce quality content, you're giving something. Yeah. If you're taking their attention, give them something back for it. Like you guys give them news. Like people can be more aware of what's going on in their community, and then I'm giving like fun, interesting stories that you can share with your friends and family.
Yeah. So you had a job at the farmers market. You also, as I understand it from our previous conversation, worked at Jersey Mike's, which I just find fascinating because it's highly possible I ordered a number 7 with bacon from you. Because I frequent all the Jersey Mike's, but definitely the one. But
did you go to the one on Upper State, or I guess it was not Upper, it was like State Street, kind of where the SB Taqueria is now?
Yes, I did go to that one.
Right
yes.
The McDonald's?
Yes, the old McDonald's. So I just think it's kind of cool, actually, that you worked at Jersey Mike's in this kind of a, considering where you're at now and that you work there. And it's like anyone working anywhere can do anything they want with their lives. It doesn't really matter as long as you just keep dreaming. And that's what you were doing. What was it like for you to work at Jersey Mike's? How did you get that job?
Yeah, Jersey Mike's was like a year of my life, I think. Back when Solstice was on State Street. But I used to frequent Jersey Mike's too. I love Jersey Mike's. Like this sandwich is incredible. I would go there a lot. I would like joke around with the people who worked there, really nice. Jorge and Urbila, back in the day, and I was like, I'm losing money. I need another job. I think I had 5 jobs at one point. They called me the world's busiest 19-year-old. There is no need for me to have 5 jobs, but I wanted to do it all, and I wanted to. But yeah, I just said, hey, I was like, are you hiring? And he was like, when can you start? And I was like, huh? Like, what about the interview? He's like, no interview. Like, I want to see that smiling face on this side of the counter. I remember he said that. Jorge, shout out if you're listening. And I guess they would tell me I was more of the customer service. Like I just like treating everyone as if they were like a long lost friend when they walked in. Yeah. I think customer service is like a lost art we're losing. I don't know, especially Santa Barbara. I don't know. I feel like I have like high standards because it can be hard because people can be miserable. But I think if you come at people with friendly, welcoming vibe, they will reciprocate that and feel. It's honestly more about the customer service than the actual food or drink being served a lot of the time, I think. It's anyways.
Experience.
Yeah. Tangent. But they would be like, Flaca. They would call me Flaca. And they're like, Flaca, púrate. Like, go faster. Like, make the sandwiches faster because I would just talk to people. Well, that was fun. And so I was like, this job kind of, like, it's a hard job. Like, it sucks. It's not fun. There's a lot of sucky parts of it. But I was like, how do you make the most of it? And how do you, like, find, like, the best moments of the day, you know, like who you meet and all that stuff. Anyways, so I had that. I was filming comedy shows. I was TAing, acting for the camera. I was doing this lighting and decor event company. And then I was helping with the courses, the online video courses for the UCSB program. And then I was doing school on top of that. And somehow I made it work. But yeah, and that's true. You can do it. I know I didn't have a camera. I had like little camcorders growing up, but I never had anything really nice. Mm-hmm. Like all the like rich kids at school. Uh-huh. Like I grew up in like suburban Midwest, and I envied like these guys who like lived on the lake and had nice really nice equipment they could play with and make these really cool videos. And I'm like, I can do that. I was like, I know I can do that. I just don't have the equipment. And that was something that bothered me, but also I think was a driving force to wanting to get there. And so I traded hours for equipment and got this camera, and then I sold that camera and then bought my first mirrorless camera with a nice lens setup and gimbal setup. And then I made money with that and then bought the FX3, just my baby, and then was able to buy another one. Anyways, so you can do it. It takes time. And that's one of my goals now is like I want to give up and coming like videographers like who I see something in, like give them nice equipment and be like, here you go, give them opportunities.
That's great.
Believe in them. And that's actually been my goal since like high school of like just noticing this like huge gap of people who have access to fancy equipment and like this trajectory of this career, and then people who are like more behind. And you can still do it, but it's harder.
Right. So I want to talk about Erie before Santa Barbara in a second, but I'll ask you a tough question here. Okay.
Get ready.
You went from working 5 jobs, Jersey Mike's, Farmers Market, the ones you outlined, to being pretty successful right now. How many X's, what X did you do to your income? You don't have to be specific, but I think it's important for people to know that you're legit, you're the real deal, you're growing, the sky's the limit, you're also a role model, people can do what you do. I mean, you have an X factor, but people can do what they do in different ways and make a living in Santa Barbara. Can you talk about your financial rise and how you're able to grow? Because you're in demand. Like if somebody wants to work with you, they have better be willing to pay for your value and your worth, right? So can you talk about that? And don't be like, I don't think you need to be humble. Like you can be strong and say like, I'm popular and in demand and I deserve to be.
I 10X'd my income.
Wow.
In like a few months, like 6 months.
And after this podcast,
from
20X.
Well, but don't be misled by that because I was making so little. And I was scraping by. And my tax lady was like, you poor thing, how do you survive? She literally said that to me.
Wow.
And yeah, I don't know how I was doing that. But, and then now, okay, so 10X, cool. I have a lot of expenses now. Like, it's not. And then also I live in Santa Barbara. What is the poverty line? My friend was telling me $90,000.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
Like, to live here, it's really hard. And then I want to be generous and I want to pay people well. So I have to charge higher prices too to pay people well. And then there's tax, and then California tax is really high. And then you find out, you have to have workers' comp and you have to have all these things. And you got to and then there's just all these surprise expenses. So I don't feel like rich by any means. I feel a lot more comfortable than I was. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm less in a like survival mindset, but I think I don't know. Maybe there's just this, like, I want to make everyone that I work with also comfortable, feel that comfort and not the survival, like scarcity thing, which is so hard and very common in Santa Barbara. Like, that's what my family said when they came here too. They're like, they noticed even like right away, there's like, wow, the income inequality here is way higher than in the Midwest. And it's really shocking, and feeling it too. And like how many friends have left town because they can't stick around. But then also there is a side of it of like, this is the most beautiful place like in the world. So like, of course, like the demand is crazy and the competition is crazy. So I see all the sides of it there. As a Goleta native, how do you see all of that?
Well, I was obviously born in Goleta, grew up here, moved away for college, some jobs. I don't think you really appreciate where you grew up until you leave, because this body of water we have here, this breeze, the mountains, and this is something, no matter your income, you can enjoy. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter where you live, if it's Montecito or Hope Ranch or Goleta or the west side or the east side. I can enjoy these things as much as anyone else can, and so I love that. And so I think there's a high propensity of people who are willing to be sort of poor, have all of their income go to rent or mortgage, and live here. And I think that it's one of the few places where it's worth. A lot of my high school friends have moved out, moved away. They're gone. They might still be kind of near, like Lompoc or Ventura or Oxnard or something, but some of them just move away because you can get so much more in Washington or Oregon or Arizona or some of these places. So I do see it, in that regard. There is vast income inequality. There's the tourism side, but then there's also the people in the kitchens, the people who are cleaning the hotels, the people's houses, the gardeners. These people work really hard. My father was a handyman, a maintenance person, multiple jobs, worked very hard, and I grew up watching that, and like, I got to get a job that I can use my head instead of my hands, because even though you use your head for those jobs, but it's like, I can't, those people are my heroes. Like they do such work that a lot of us, are so privileged to not have to do, but it's like, that's backbreaking work for no money. And yet and they do multiple jobs. So that's the part of the reason why I admire you a bit, is like 5 jobs, incredible work ethic. You get what you want, you go after it, and you make it happen. So anyone who thinks you're like an overnight social media star is wrong, and that's part of what we're talking about.
Yeah,
here.
People ask me, like people I've known, and they're like, "Oh, I've been seeing your videos," and like, so like you just start doing this like 3 months ago? I'm like, no, it takes so long to learn all this kind of stuff and like shoot well and compose well. But yeah, people do think that, don't they?
So let's go back to this is a device I use in writing, and I do it in my interviewing. So we've had this great conversation so far about the now. Now that people are hooked and they care, they know about your story. Let's go back, because you didn't spontaneously arrive in Santa Barbara in 2020 and everything happened. There's a story before that. So can we talk about Ari, the young person, the child growing up in the Midwest, and your parents, your family, to the degree you want to talk about, anything about your upbringing, because we aren't just necessarily born with these work ethics. Some people have them, some people don't. Sometimes we learn to fight because we've had to overcome things. And so take me back to the beginning. Who is little Ari, little Visionari? What's life like for you in the Midwest? Where were you born? What was life like for you?
We're all a little suburb. About a half hour outside the cities in Minnesota. Minnesota. Definitely known for the work ethic out there. Stereotype. Yeah, it was definitely ingrained in me to work hard. I'm grateful for that. I think the dark side of it can be neglecting your own health at times. And so I've been working on that side of things, not neglecting my health for the sake of work, as I noticed my dad do, and a lot of people in the Midwest do. And yeah, I grew up being obsessed with the camera and found out in high school you can make a profession out of it. I think it was kind of my escape in a way. Looking back, there's a lot of tension in my household. And to escape, I go for runs. So I got into running to leave the house from the tension. And I didn't realize that wasn't normal until later. But yeah, or I would escape into my little videos. And I would edit for hours. And I got really good at it, and it was fun. Creative outlet. I was also only child. So
one of those.
I didn't have siblings. But yeah, I feel like I would. My uncle, who passed away last year, whenever he came over for family events, he'd be like, "What's the new video, Ari?" And I always felt very loved by that. But he was like, what are we gonna see today? Because I was always making new videos, and I wasn't allowed to have a YouTube channel, so they were just my viewers pretty much.
Okay. And
then my friends who would want to. I had a lot of friends who wanted to be in little videos, and so. But yeah, I would say, yeah, I don't know. Any specific questions?
Well, the cool thing about making videos, I used to make videos too. When we got the video camera in the household,
yeah,
it was the coolest thing. Whoa, it was it's a big one because this is so it's the 90s or film everything. So I have all these little V8 or cassette tapes, these small. It's all this stuff I filmed. But what I love about it is you can sort of become you can escape, right? You can become a different character. You can become somebody other than yourself, and sort of that's a cope thing. You did this video, which you posted on your Instagram, where you're I don't know how old Ari is, but I don't know, 8, 10, something like that, where you are playing multiple roles. It's breaking news, and you're this news anchor, and you're talking to the reporters a reporter out on the scene, and then a source, and it's what, this cat became a giant or something?
Yeah, I put my cat on the green screen. I got a green screen. I think I used my Christmas money or something to save up and buy a green screen, and yeah, I put my cat. I just threw my cat on the green screen, and then she was walking around, and then I superimposed that over a city, and then added some smokes and stuff, and just made it look like the cat was taking over the city. And then yeah, I was interviewing people. I don't know how I came up with that, but
that was high quality. If that were on Netflix and that were your show or YouTube show, oh my goodness. It would be more content. That was so funny. It was hilarious.
Should duplicate myself again. No, I like to, that was one of the things I like to do, just duplicate. I also didn't have siblings, so I didn't have other people to really be in my videos. So it was a way to just have more characters. It's how can I figure out how to have more characters? Just duplicate myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're a 10-year-old Ari, what do you want to be when you're 28 years older? You know, what do you want to be when you're older? What is your goal?
I think at 10 years old, I wasn't thinking about it.
Okay.
Actually, I was like, we'll see, whatever. But in high school, we had video production class. And yeah, naturally I had been editing for a while, so I was pretty good. So I just kind of became the group editor for each project. Pretty much did all the work for everyone. You're welcome. But yeah, I found out, oh, you can make a career. I didn't know what. I wanted to make videos for a living, but I didn't know which path I wanted to take. And I was like, do I want to go to digital journalism? We had this really cool, I went to a public school, but they had this like, they're a really well-funded public school. And they had this like off-campus program called the Digital Journalism Advantage, and you would like dress professionally and you would work with local companies and make videos with them. So they would get a free video. Looking back, I'm like, these companies are getting free videos. And I was pretty good back then, so they got a nice free little video. But anyways, yeah, so I tried, they took us behind the scenes too in like a newsroom. Oh. So I was like, maybe I want to go into digital journalism, but I love like being behind the camera. And I noticed even back then in like 2015, 2016, they had robot cameras. I was like, oh, like camera people are like done in the news, which is not true. Like you still have field reporting and all that stuff. Right. But I was like, whoa, okay, this is kind of, can't go this way. And also didn't love the corporate culture that it was showing me. And they were talking about getting up at 3 a.m. and doing these stories. And I was like, oh, God, I could never. That's horrible. Oh. And so, nope, don't want to do that. And then I was like, maybe I want to go into Hollywood and do narrative stuff. And so I went to City College, which was kind of a potential like bridge to LA. Yeah. That was like more affordable and put me on the track for it. And then just the people, I don't know, just like the projects and the people working on, I didn't feel like it was like a culture fit even. Like the people who wanted to go into Hollywood, I was like, I don't really vibe with these people. I don't really, like, I don't feel invigorated by this process of like, I think we worked on a film in the rain until 2 a.m. And I was like, this is horrible. There's gotta be something better. So that's kind of what I want to do with my company too, is make it healthy. I think Americans work too much. I think we don't take enough time off. I think I like the European vacation. Yeah. I want to set that up where, you know, you have consistent content for people, but you have someone able to sub in so we can take like a month or 2 months off of the year.
That'd be great.
And reset. Yeah. What are we doing to ourselves? We don't have to do this. Like we can just, I don't know. What are we doing? Like I love working, but like we gotta, something's going on here.
Well, I think I've been able to do this pretty much 100% my whole life. And I think you are doing it now, is if you can figure out a way to like have a job doing something you enjoy, it's the best thing in the world, because even if, you know, just being in control of your own destiny is worth so much. Not everyone can have that opportunity, but to the degree you can, you should shoot for it, because we are workaholics, like in this country, many of us. And if you are doing that for someone else and you're getting paid a portion of this and you're not reaping the longer term benefits, it's exploitation. And then just your life quality. Like, you know, when you're at the end, no one's thinking about like, oh, I worked 18 hours a day. It's like they're thinking about the stuff they didn't do. And so it is super important. And so it's cool. You've worked a lot and sacrificed, and now you're in a position where you can kind of pick your moments now, pick your spots, pick your projects, and hopefully you do take a vacation, although I don't see when you're going to be able to do that, so you're busy. But
I'm working on it. My camera is taking a vacation, so I got to go. We got to change the battery. Okay. We'll be take right back. Take a pause. Right. When are we back?
All right.
Are we back?
We're back.
Okay.
Short little break. Okay. So I was asking you about just your backstory before you came to Santa Barbara, and it's all sort of fascinating. And I wanted to ask you just real specifically, though, because you mentioned you didn't have any siblings, so you created these characters. So kind of cool to have like multiple personalities in these videos that you were making. So I'm a dad. I'm old enough to be your father. I have a 20-year-old. I have a 12-year-old. And it's just, I see everything through this lens of like trying to encourage and support young people. I'm a teacher, I've been teaching forever. And so I'm going to ask you a question as like a parental type question, okay? So I try to like, I'm proud of you, right? It's like, wow, this person came to Santa Barbara and made something of her life. This is amazing. And I was just wondering, like, you know, what do your parents think of with the work that you've done to get yourself to be where you're at? And it's just kind of interesting because it's social media, right? So it's like a lot of times this is a format that people don't get or understand if you're of a certain generation. So what do your parents think of your rise in Santa Barbara?
Yeah, my parents are definitely older, for like in their 70s. Growing up, very supportive. I felt like, you know, they didn't want me to have YouTube. I understand that now. I feel like it could have been hard. All the hate or the weirdness on there, the creepies on there. You know, didn't want me to have a Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Definitely encouraged my videos. I think my mom played a role in some of them occasionally. My dad found Santa Barbara City College, actually.
Oh, okay.
And showed me it, and I thought that looked cool. And it was like more affordable than other options. Yeah. And so he was really to credit for finding Santa Barbara, really.
Is this on a map or on the internet?
Internet.
Okay.
Yeah. And helped me, because I dreamed of going to California. So they really helped with my dream. I know my mom wanted me to go to Iowa, stay closer to home. But ultimately, they helped me fulfill my dream of coming to California. Gets a little more complicated. I felt like it was kind of drop you off. Here you go, kid. I could probably count the amount of times they called me on like one hand in the last 10 years. Texted me, yes, but I don't feel very connected that way. I didn't feel it was very... And I brought this up to them, and that's why it was hard, because when I was blowing up, I was also calling my family out on a lot of their unhealthy patterns, and it wasn't being received. And so I was breaking attachment, and then also having this really intense moment of like being hyper visible in the community. Mm-hmm. So it was a tough time. I didn't feel like I could go to them for support or any of that. I don't think they've seen all my videos. They definitely wanted to see them. But I remember sending them some of my social media stuff, and they'd be like, oh, like I don't have an account. Like I can't see it. Like, can make an account. And they came out here end of last year. And I was telling them I started blowing up. It was like the moment I started blowing up, like the first 3 videos, first 2, I was like, you guys, like I'm getting, and they're kind of like, oh, that's cool. And I had to say it like a bunch of times. And then I remember asking them, I was like, don't you want to see my video? I was like, you guys haven't like asked, or we haven't sat down and watched any of my videos. And so it was weird. I felt like I was like begging my parents to watch my videos that everybody was like watching, you know, when I didn't have to beg Santa Barbara to watch my videos. So it's a complicated relationship of, yeah, I was supported in a lot of ways, and I'm grateful for it. However, I didn't feel like the love and the, like when, I don't know, when your kid asks you to love them in a certain way and you're just like, no, like we don't want to do this, or you just refuse to change or work on yourself to improve family. It's kind of tough.
Yeah.
So breaking a cycle for sure. As a lot of entrepreneurs have a lot of kind of, you know, everyone has, you know, things they're going through and all that.
Yeah.
But
Do you think they were like resentful that you came to California instead of, was it Iowa or Idaho? Do you think maybe that they were like, well, if you're going to go that far, that was their form of coping, was in some ways disconnecting?
what do you mean?
Maybe they were upset. Were they upset that you were going so far away to California that even though they consciously didn't maybe tell you this, they subconsciously were disconnecting from you because you're so far away, instead of being parents, which are to support no matter where your kids are?
I almost have this theory that like my dad helped me get me out here.
Oh.
Because like even subconsciously to like get me away from the family dynamic.
I see.
Way. But
because he found City College for you. Yeah. Right.
I know. But who knows if they find this and they're listening to this, you know, I love you and I want to work on our family dynamics whenever you do.
And I will say, watch your daughter's videos, because we're watching them here in Santa Barbara and elsewhere, and everyone, you know, is going to watch more of them, and you're just going to get bigger and bigger and explode. And the content's great. And if that were my daughter, holy cow, I'd have her on a podcast and we would talk. So anyway, you should feel good about everything, and they are proud of you. They may not know how to say it in the right way, because that's just somehow how parents are.
I believe that. I believe that.
If they actually knew exactly what you were doing and understood it, their minds would definitely be blown. So you came out to City College, and you were going to be this filmmaker, and you pivoted to social media. Let me ask you, Ari, what do you think of, I used this word in coffee when we were talking, right? I said influencer. And you said, I'm not an influencer, right? It's kind of an older term. You're a content creator. What do you think of this world we're living in right now with like the state of social media? Are we a better place than we were? Are people making useful content? Is the world getting better? And I'll talk for a minute here. The first time I saw your videos, someone actually shared them with me, right? Like I had seen it, and then whatever is this video, and then someone said, "Oh, check this person out," you know. And they were actually like you know, "Oh, this person makes great videos," kind of thing.
Which video do you remember?
I don't remember exactly the video, but it was more of like, look at what they're doing. And so it was that. And me as a journalist was sort of like, oh, these content creators, they're not journalists. They don't understand what we do. Like, we have got to go talk to 3 people, research, report it, become experts in the same day, and we got to take pictures, and we got to publish this, and they're over there with their cameras.
That's fine.
Being
that's
cutesy.
True. That's true.
Yeah. Right.
So far, I agree with you. Is this supposed to be the hard question?
No. It's not yet. So it's sort of like that. But then you look like these videos and you're like, whoa, there's a lot of people watching these videos, kind of thing. But let's be real. Some of the stuff on social media is crap, right? It's terrible. It's not good for you. It doesn't make the world better. It's not informative. You are not that. You're the opposite of that, but you're in that world. What do you think of like social media in 2026 and this world that we are in? I mean, are you a fan, or are you just doing what you're doing right now and you're going to get out and do something later?
Just like anything, it's a tool, is what I think. And you can use a tool for good and you can use a tool for bad, I think. And you can use a tool in a deep way to start conversations about things that matter. You can use it to start stupid conversations and fights, you know? And I think some content is more divisive, and I think some content unites people. And obviously I'm more in the uniting camp. And I get discouraged when I see people using it in ways I think is just stealing people's attention and not giving them any value back. And I'm encouraged when I see other like there's other people sharing stories kind of like me, and I follow them and like I love what they're doing. Or even just when the city of Santa Barbara posts something, I'm like, yes. Like when they posted about the park, what's that park by the zoo again called? Anyways, they're like renovating the whole park.
Oh, Dwight Murphy.
Yeah.
Dwight Murphy Field.
Because I went to go do pull-ups. And then I was like, oh, it's gone. They're like doing something. But I didn't know that was happening. And then I saw a post about it later, and it was kind of like, new park loading, and it was like this kid. I was like, I don't know who they hired, but like cute. Like I'm glad they're doing this.
It's an accessible park, playground.
Yeah,
so it's cool.
Yeah. But like I don't know. Has there been any talking? Maybe you guys can. Maybe I'll tell you something you should do. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, you know what you should? You know what you should do? You got to do a story on this.
Yes.
Let me tell you what to. Yeah, be like everyone else.
You can tell me what to do. It's okay.
No, but someone should do a story about it. If it's not me, I don't know. But I would love if the city hired me to talk about it. But, yeah, and it's nice. Yeah, it's just nice. Like I like that Sam is passionate about talking about what's going on more in local politics. Like State Street, what's going on with the State Street stuff, what's going on with the Yardie stuff, what's going on with the 101 that's coming out soon.
Oh, good.
But, yeah, just informing people about things, just being informed about your community is so empowering and, I don't know, invaluable.
So, yeah, okay, so you're helping me understand this, and you have been since we started been talking, is there's a value you have to give people. It's like information. You're making their lives better. You're improving their lives to make better decisions because you're giving them content about stuff in their world. And that's a big difference than some of the other stuff that's out there on social media. And that's what resonates with people, because people feel smarter after they watch your video, right?
And I always hated history. Actually,
Did you?
Yeah,
Really?
I hated history. I thought it was so boring, and also the way they teach it. It's like that Charlie Brown thing. Like that's how it sounds. You know, like the war of blah blah blah. All the wars blend together. They all sound the same. But then now it's like, it makes sense to have that context for like learning local history. Is so much more. And Santa Barbara is particularly interesting. Like I'm from Minnesota. I do not care about Minnesota history.
Right.
Like at all. Sorry. Yeah. I care about Santa Barbara history. I think it's such an interesting place. And I keep uncovering more stuff.
Well, I covered Franceschi Park for years back in the day, in the early 2000s when I was first hired at the News Press. I covered it when I came back. It's always been this controversy. What are we going to do with the house? Are we going to knock it down? Are we going to restore it? How much of it can we get? And then I watched her video. I'm learning new things. This is so good. It's so I think you have this incredible skill where you can appeal to the casual. Oh, Visionari, what's she talking about today? And then someone who's got some other like been around too. Like you're educating all of us, and that's incredibly impressive. And so that's what's cool. That's your survival, enduring legacy. Like you're going to be here doing whatever you want to do for as long as you want to do it, because you are providing enriching, fulfilling content to people, as opposed to, let me laugh at this person, right? Which is not good. Okay. Do you have any content creators locally that you like, that you watch? Who does Ari go to when you're just killing time or taking some time to be on social media?
I was thinking about this. Basically people who, well, obviously Josh, Motown Josh,
You want to know the story? Okay. So no, people are like, what the heck is Motown Josh news? Okay. It's an evolution, but it started in the classroom and I just didn't know what to, I was creating like a username for Kahoot, and I was
Kahoot.
I was just like, what's it going to be? And I'm like, I'll do like Molina. Then the class like, that's stupid. That's not original. Okay. How about like Molina City? Like, no, they're like, you should do, like, you're a reporter. You should do, how about Molina Town? I'm like, no, that's dumb. I know. I'd be just like, oh, make it cooler, make it more clever. Motown. And then I'm like, oh, it's like Molina Town, but it's not like so obvious. It's like subtle.
Motown.
Yeah, Motown Josh.
Isn't that like it's slang too? I don't know.
Well, it's like Detroit. It's like, where there's a lot of music, Motown. And so that's how that came. But then people like laugh at it all the time. So it's like, I figure it's like, oh, people remember it, it sticks.
Yeah.
So I kept it. But then when I started my podcast, I was like,
you have a branding issue.
Yeah. And it was like Santa Barbara, but I really like Santa Barbara Talks. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to do like the Motown Josh podcast. It doesn't really matter, I figured out, because people find you, like they'll figure it out. But ideally they'd be one and the same. Mm-hmm. So that's where that came from. But no, I appreciate you saying that you watch occasionally my fun mix of professional work and children. So
and saw you out there shooting.
Yes.
At the city council meeting.
Yeah. Well, one of the things as journalists is, okay, for those of you who are watching and you're like thinking more Ari, less Josh, we'll get back to her in just a second. No. So let's talk about 5 years old. No, just kidding. So no. As a journalist, we were not trained in photography or video or multimedia. At least my generation, we're trained on like words, and then the photography major or something else. But to evolve and stay relevant, I've had to pick up these skills. I've taken classes, so I shoot my own photos, and it's fun. I love it because it's a whole new era of learning for me, and I've been doing it a few years. The flip side is these newspaper companies stop paying photographers, and it's a way for them to get all in one instead of they would actually have a photographer on staff. Now they're like, reporters, you do it all. You're a multimedia journalist.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like a way for the companies to save money, to say you do it all. But as you know, video is its own skill. Photography is its own skill. And it's very frustrating that like the journalism profession's gone to, just take a picture. All we need is a picture. All we need is a video. It's like, okay, but the people who actually know how to shoot photos and videos are going to kill us if this is all we're doing, just competitively speaking. So yes, I am out there in the field. I love to take photos. I'll run my slideshow stuff. I've learned a lot, and it's cool that someone as impressive of you will say, you look at my Instagram too. So thank you.
Yeah, you take good photos.
Thank you.
You get people at the right moment.
Yeah, I'm big on moments, facial expressions. And I don't shoot to make people look good. I don't shoot to make them look bad. It's capturing authentic moments.
Yeah.
Real life.
Yeah.
Occasionally I've done like a filter on myself on Instagram, and I'll get messages and they're like, don't do that. It's so stupid. So I don't even try to make myself look good. It's just because to me as a journalist, it's about authentic moments. It's not about like anything else. That being said, Who do you like? Who are your content creators that you go to? Anybody locally you want to name?
It's so hard to remember people's names. Yeah. There's this one guy. Have you seen the guy's reels where he's like, since people want to act stupid. No. Since people want to act stupid, everything you should know about like Stockton, California, or stuff like that. Okay. I think his account name is like Mia Moo or something. Maya Moo. I don't know. Okay. We're like, I think comparable in followers and stuff. He like uses iPhone. I think he's promoting his clothing brand. Oh. But he does like kind of similar. He goes up and down California, and he's come to Santa Barbara, I think, a couple of times.
Oh, like, I have seen that one. He's like,
this is what you should do here.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Or this is the history of this bridge.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. So he does kind of similar stuff.
Copycat. He's copying.
I think maybe he was first. I don't know. Who knows? But
that is popular genre, though. Like, you kind of go somewhere and kind of explain something that's happening in this community.
Yeah. Who else? There's this other guy I came across. Oh man, it's hard to remember people's usernames. J. Andy Films, I think he's in San Diego.
Okay.
All these people I like talk to too, and like, casually kind of like, hey, like your stuff. It's kind of like a creator bond, I guess. Of like, I know that's a lot of work what you're doing.
It's a certain special space. Like, not everyone can understand what you're doing, so you kind of have to.
It would be cool to create like some sort of, I don't know, online community or something. But anyways, he does something similar, and he's got a goofy, fun personality too, kind of deadpan, making little jokes, kind of like telling the history or telling why is this like this, or a notable one I would say. Oh, I don't remember where it is. Oh, this is how when people try to explain my videos, now I understand. And then it's like, hard to remember, but it's like these old canals that are like this, it's like orange now. Like this river is orange, and there's like some algae growing there. I don't know. Anyways, he's got interesting stuff. Yeah. So when people try to, retell my videos too, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like you learn the most when you're teaching. You learn the best teaching something.
Yeah. You have this.
I learn a lot by like making these videos over and over.
You have like a cinematic approach. So you see that documentary vision that you once had to do in your social media. That's like, I don't know the technical terms here, so forgive me, but like it's like almost like a brown layer, or there's like a gray layer over it that makes it seem movie-like. That's pretty cool. What is that? What are you trying to go for there?
Great. What? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think about shooting in log, but then you color grade it, or what do you?
Well, it's not like just your full like natural colors. Like it's like there's almost
color grading.
Yeah, color grading. Yeah. So that's cinematic, right? That makes it look like it's a movie, or what's going on there?
Yeah, it's just kind of artsy.
Yeah. No, it looks great. It's cool.
It's just kind of fun.
This is the thing when I see stuff you've done that is not your name on it, or you're on camera, I'm like, this is Visionari.
Yeah,
you have that. You have that brand.
Yeah, I don't color. Some people color grade super. I try to keep it mostly natural-ish, because Santa Barbara's already so beautiful. You really don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
But I add like some teal and orange stuff sometimes, or yeah.
Let's talk about your persona. Your personality on camera.
Okay.
What?
I feel like I'm the same. I don't know. Am I not the same?
No, well, I feel that, but some people are just meeting you for the first time right now.
Maybe I'm a little more serious right now. Well, but I met someone the other day. Whenever people meet me, they say this. They're like, "Oh wow!" Like they're shocked that I'm like, they call me genuine or whatever. They're like, "You're like who you are on camera or whatever." And I'm like, yeah. I don't know.
I heard the Minnesota there.
There it is. Came out. So okay. Bag. You got a bag with the rag.
I'll pretend like there's no cameras on, because I don't want to be like self-carded here with what I'm about to say, because I want you to talk about it. You're funny.
Thank you. That's nice.
I really love your laugh. You have a laugh on camera that is engaging. You're tall.
No, people can't tell that. People can't tell that. I'm going to push back on that.
Okay.
People meet me in person. They're like, whoa, like, you're tall. Okay. Like, maybe people don't. No. I think you know that because you met me.
That is true.
But, like, before that, you probably didn't know.
I was struck.
Yeah. Everyone says that. Because I put the camera at, like, eye level. Okay. Like, I raised it up pretty high. Like 5'11" for context for everyone.
Okay. So you're great. Like you're just like what's the word? Electric on camera. You're like, wow, who is this person? So really? Is that how you roll out of bed? Is that just you all the time, or is there any presentation that you're like, I'm turning it on now? Mm-hmm. There has to be some performance element to being on camera, right? Mm-hmm. Can you talk about that?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't wanna. No, I'm just kidding. I kind of just try to treat the camera like I'm talking to a friend about it. Maybe I'm a little more blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'm a little more or like energetic. I mean, you tell me. Do you see a different? I don't know.
No, okay.
I mean, I'm open. I mean, maybe I am super different. I don't know. But I feel like...
No. The greatest thing about getting to know you was that you are exactly that person in real life.
Cool.
As opposed to, oh, this person's a fraud. They're a performer. No, you're actually that person. So that's my take. And I'm just wondering if you consciously just said, hey, I'm just going to be me with a camera, or if you've evolved at all, or just...
I've definitely evolved. Mm-hmm. Also, someone started a Reddit post about me. Did you see that one?
No, I don't like Reddit. I can't believe.
Huh?
I don't like Reddit.
The Santa Barbara Reddit is crazy. There are some crazy things on there.
What are they saying about you on Reddit?
No, it was fine. There was like one guy was mad about the price that I quoted him, but sorry, it was going to be a lot of work. Someone said they have like a crush on me. Someone said, I liked her video. Oh, this was, but people downvoted it so I feel like very supported by the community. But someone said like, what was it? I liked her videos until she started using this fake accent voice. Like, what are you? I don't know. I just kind of laugh. I'm like, what are you talking about? But maybe because I've grown a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera. If you look at my Elings Park, there was like a lot of people around walking their dogs, and I just was kind of self-conscious, and I was kind of whispering a little bit. I was like, did you know? I was like, and the worst part, and I look back, I'm like, I sound so shy, and I was, because it was the first one I filmed of myself out in public, and I didn't want to like cause a fuss or like bother anyone or like draw attention to myself. But I'm like, I want to redo it because I'm better now in front of the camera, and like it's still awkward. Like yesterday, I thought I would get used to it. I'm not used to it. Filming on like a busy road. Oh. Everyone is. I mean, there's nothing. I get it. There's nothing else to look at. You're driving. Oh, someone's filming. Whoa, that's like the most interesting thing to look at that point in time. Yeah. And maybe some people recognize me, but I just feel like all these eyes on me, and it just feels like all this pressure, and I just get uncomfortable, and I feel less like myself. So when I film, I try to be at least like somewhat private spot, like at least not a ton of people. Yeah. That's why I like to film in the morning. No one's up yet. And then I tell my clients to film in the morning too, even if it's brutal getting up. But yeah, I thought I would be more used to it. Also, I thought I'd be used to people saying, oh, you're the girl in those videos. I'm still not used to that. Yeah. So I don't know when I'm going to get used to all this, but maybe never. I don't know how that works.
Yeah. So you on camera. You've grown. You've become more comfortable if there's people around you, but you're essentially the same. Do you have any advice for like content creators? Maybe they've been trying stuff and nothing is hitting or nothing is engaging. Part of what you do. I mean, you could have your own side business, someday you're probably going to have a big business with multiple like sort of branches and focuses. But you could have your own business just like on telling people how to grow their brand on social media, just like tips and everything. What advice do you have for content creators to do it right?
Don't create for other people. Create for yourself. It's also hard. I should be doing more social media tips. I'm going to try to make it fun and not boring. So I got to get more into that. I should be doing more of that stuff. But the stuff that really brings me life is the Santa Barbara stories. And I just, like, I don't get burnt out. I'm not tired of doing those. Yeah. I don't think I will get tired. Or just telling stories about California would be fun. I don't know. It's like the moment you start creating for other people, I feel like your art kind of loses its soul if you create what you think people want. I mean, I started making these videos just hoping one person would learn something. I guess in a way sounds hypocritical. Of like, I did want someone to, but like, so if you're making content for the attention, like, you're never going to be satisfied. I don't know. I would just say, it's not that serious. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all going to die. Like, I have my little death necklace. I wear this a lot, actually. It says Memento Mori.
Wow.
Which means remember death. A little stoic thing. Mm-hmm. And the back it says, let that determine what you do and say and think. Just kind of keeping perspective like this. This is probably all we got. So don't live with no regrets and just, even though it's uncomfortable, like super uncomfortable for me posting that first Elings Park. I mean, it's still kind of uncomfortable every time I post. I'm like, what if I got something wrong? But you feel the discomfort and then you do it anyways. And if it's the right thing to do, then do it. If you're providing value to people, yeah, do it.
Is the pressure gone? Or you feel pressure like the next video's got to be bigger than the next one, and people are watching, and then now they're expecting something great from me? Do you have those voices?
No, I've done a lot of work on myself, and I kind of like, I don't owe anyone anything. Mm-hmm. And so I just do it for myself. Because if the moment I feel pressure, then I'm not going to want to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stop. So, I don't know. I don't have to do any of this. I could stop tomorrow, but I'm not going to. I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Oh, well.
Do you look at your view count? Are there times when you're just like, whoa, it's gone up 100 in a minute? Like, does that still happen, or no, you let it go and look at it the next day?
I feel I look at it not as like an ego. I feel like I just look at it as like a business analytics thing, mm-hmm. like trying to analyze for myself so that I can also apply that to client work, because people do care about the numbers at the end of the day, quantifying, everything. So I'll look at, okay, this one didn't do as well as, like, what hook did I use? Did I not like did I use different music? The pacing, was it person I collaborated with? Was it like the content or the story just wasn't as compelling, or like wasn't as shocking, or like what was it? I was, I'll be like, oh, this video didn't do as well as I thought it was going to do as well. But you can't really quantify based on likes or views, because what if one person was really freaking out, like it really meant a lot to them, mm-hmm. versus like 10 people being like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like that one person really matters a lot to me. Yeah. The person who is someone came up to me like before yoga and was like, I'm like obsessed with your videos. Like I get so excited when they come out, like album drop and that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm like, wow, like it's not just like a casual, like, oh yeah, those are interesting. It's like people are really moved by it. Right. Like not everyone, but very specific people. Yeah. And specific people that I might be friends with or like get along really well with. So.
What does it do to your mind when you think that right now there's somebody somewhere in Santa Barbara talking about you?
Super weird.
Have you seen this Visionari Content stuff? It's great. Let me show you this video. This one is so good. And then they're like, oh yeah, what about this one? As that person who grew up however they grew up, what you shared, like, when you think about it that way.
I don't think about it. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I don't think about it. I think occasionally I'd be like, oh, that's great. Well, what happens a lot is someone says, they're like, oh, do you do those videos? I'm like, yeah. Or sometimes I'm like, maybe. And then they're like, I was just talking about you. And I'm like, whoa. Like, I was just talking about you. What? Why are you talking about me? I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Who's all these people? Like, little old me, you know? And like, they're not really talking about me. I don't know. They're talking about the video. I kind of separate myself. Like, I don't know. People maybe think they know. I don't know. You don't really know. I guess people will know me better now. Whoever listens to this or listens to my rambling podcast. Oh, should I plug my podcast?
Yeah. So
that I may or may not keep up with.
No, I think people love you and want to know everything you're involved with. So yes, you also have a podcast. What's that about?
Yeah, it's just a way to make sure all my research it's not all in vain, because I have to throw away a lot of it for these short videos. So what do I call it? Santa Barbara Secrets, the podcast. And it's just me blabbering on about, I have like all the full research because I had to like cut a lot of stuff for the sake of the flow of the video. And so I already have the research, and it takes like an hour to set up my device and then record. It's not a video podcast, but it's just if you are like commuting and you're like, oh, that video was really compelling and really interesting, and I want to know more about that subject. I have more research on it, so I might as well just throw it out there. Also, in full transparency, like I don't, like my Santa Barbara Secrets videos are not directly monetized. Like I don't make money directly from those. Indirectly, yeah, people know about me and then, sign on as clients. So, but it would be nice to like monetize the podcast, even if it's just like $5, $5 like a month or something, buy a coffee, just get something out of.
So it's like really hard to monetize on Instagram. Is that the deal?
You don't monetize on Instagram. You just don't. It's just a way to direct people to places where you can get, YouTube or whatever. So YouTube, I think, is good. You're monetized, right?
On YouTube, yeah.
Yeah.
10,000 hours.
Yeah.
1,000 followers. Mm-hmm. And so.
That's nice. Well, how long have you been podcasting?
Well, I'd be happy, Ari, to answer all these questions when I'm the first guest on your podcast. 2020. Yeah, I started it in like May of 2020, but it wasn't just because of COVID. It was something I'd been wanting to do, and then I just decided to do it at that time as the world was falling apart.
How many episodes have you done?
Too many. No, I mean, too many to remember. 300, maybe? I don't know. Wow. I'd have to go look. They're kind of funny. And I get
the earlier ones?
Yeah, because I used to do them with no green screen. It was just like my office. So you could sort of see like the books that I have and pictures and all that. And then I put up a screen. It's like ocean. And some people like that. Some people don't. I'll do them in person, some of them. So it's like a kind of a mix. But
people are hating on the ocean.
Do you get that?
No, I'm just wondering. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's funny.
Some people do. I like it because it's like my photos.
You're not really outside. You think you're fooling us?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Like, you're so cool right now. Yeah. So, but they're my pictures. I take them when we're out. Like, they're my photos. I like watching, like, my fat cycle. It's, like, kind of cool because I'm like, oh, this month I was really enjoying the ice cream, and I was like this month I was hitting Planet Fitness a lot. That's just me, like this. I judge myself. I don't know what other people say. They don't share if they do, but so it's when you have like this, it's now almost 6 years of content. You're just like, wow, that's crazy. And I've interviewed a lot of different people, have a lot of great podcasts. Almost got canceled in a couple of them, but
got canceled.
Almost got canceled. Yeah, no, not my favorite.
I'm ready to be canceled on this one. You can cancel me.
I was interviewing this guy named Ed St. George.
Work for me.
No, we're publishing this no matter what.
Feel free to cancel me, Santa Barbara. So I can
cancel Ari, hashtag.
Just kidding.
She's ready to do something. No,
cancel culture. I'm actually super against. Anyways, yeah.
That's what I say.
You want to talk about that or not really?
No, well, I mean, I had a guy developer. He made some comments about a female elected official. About she basically said, she should be raising her kids, not running for office. Yikes. And this is a thing.
You had him on the podcast.
He was on my podcast. He's a developer.
Yeah.
He
just stepped out of his lane there.
And but it's funny. It's when you do a podcast, though, people will be like, "Why are you platforming this person?" And I actually did intervene when he said that. Like I kind of pushed back a little bit, so I was like mostly protected. But then the conversation turned to, "Why are you even giving this guy a platform to talk?" And it's like it's such a strange thing. It's like we live in a country where, in my mind, it's better to give people platforms because people say good things, they say smart things, informative things. Occasionally, people are going to say things you don't like, but it's much better to live in a country where we have these First Amendment rights so that anyone technically can speak and let the marketplace decide like who they like and they don't. But if we start with only some people can talk, that's censorship, and we'd lose a lot of the good that way. So yeah, I've done a lot of those, and most of the time I just like having in-depth conversations with people, something more than the 3 quotes in a news story, right? That's sort of the whole thing.
Well, that's kind of like what I do when I get. There was a mean comment on my Ojai vid. It was, "You're embarrassing yourself." That was brutal. But I was like, I'm not gonna delete it. I'm gonna that was rude, and it was like posted by a business.
Really?
And I was like, let's keep it up. Show the world who you are and the kind of things that you say, and let everyone else draw their own conclusion about, how you're treating other people and how you're commenting on local creators' accounts.
Right.
So even though it kind of stings to look at it sometimes, you're like, because it's, it hits, the self-critical side. I'm like, oh, maybe I am making a fool of myself. It's just, I keep it up there. I don't delete comments unless they're hateful to a group of people.
Right.
And I really don't want that on,
Yeah. I hide comments. I had a podcast series. We just haven't done it in a while with another teacher at City College. We're about the same age, and we talk about how much we love 90s music and Alanis Morissette and George Michael and all this stuff. But she got some serious hate from commenters because she was, our whole vibe was talking about parenting, and we talk about relationships, and it was very clear that there's a lot of misogyny on the internet. And I turned off the comments then because I'm like, this, you shouldn't be allowed to comment on this platform if you're just gonna hate on this woman's comments for no reason, So for me, I'd probably leave anything up. I don't care what you say, but for the guest, it's not helpful to them. So Ari, we talked about what's happening now, your business. We talked about the Ari before, Visionari Content. Let's talk about you, in Santa Barbara, but not actually the content creator. What do you like to do when you're not making these videos? Are you bike riding? You walking? You hanging out with friends? I mean, what's your life like away from what people see on Instagram?
I just bought a bike the other day, so I'm obsessed with biking.
Nice. What kind of bike was it?
I've biked my whole life, but it's a Cannondale. I got it at BC Centro used, but I think it's from like maybe the 80s, but it's cool. It gets me around. I want to make sure I keep up with it, and I want to go up to Gibraltar eventually. Maybe I'll get a nicer one and go up to Gibraltar. It'll be fun. Just go wee down the mountain. Fly. It's so fun.
Do you have, I'm going to ask you a news question here.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts on the proliferation of e-bikes in Santa Barbara and downtown?
The biker gangs are so scary. So many close calls with them. Or they just like take up the entire street. I don't know. People are like, oh, I got to do something about these. I don't know what you're going to do about it. I like that the kids have freedom, you know, to go around, and I'm glad they're having fun. Yeah. I don't want to be the, kids will be kids kind of person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a solution. I think as a kid I would have been more respectful than some of them, but it's also usually like the guys, I feel like, and they're popping wheelies and then trying to be cool. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I don't know.
Well, if you try to be cool, you're not cool. That's what I think. You're either cool or you're not. Just being yourself. No, I've been down there. I don't like how rude they are to old people. Like senior citizens.
What do they do?
Well,
like run them over?
They might yell like, get out of the way, kind of a thing.
Really? I haven't heard that.
Kind of I've seen this, you know, there's fewer people actually walking in the street now because they're on the sidewalk or they're in the 500 block on the platform. But when everyone was like sharing the middle of the street, it was that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. The e-bikes they go fast. It's like a legitimate thing.
I think there's a problem with the farmer's market.
Yeah.
Even working at the farmer's market, you're like, oh, people are biking through. But then as a biker, when the farmer's market is like State Street has now become like the Autobahn of like Santa Barbara,
right?
For e-bikes. And so you're supposed to walk your bike like 100 blocks. Like you're supposed to walk, like I'm trying to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, okay, so then I take, what's the next street? You have Anacapa and you have Chapala, and those are you don't want to bike on those.
Dangerous.
That's terrifying and dangerous. Yeah. So from that block of time, you have, okay, what do I do? And I'm always like, okay, you got to go way around and go on like some street that's like less sketchy, or like go on the sidewalk. Or I think that's a problem. Yeah. But hopefully they'll solve that with the master plan. Have that like bike lane there.
And you were at the city council meeting the other night.
For a little bit. I was listening to it all day. I just wanted to feel like I was in an episode of Parks and Rec. But no, I'm just kidding. No, I care about, State Street, and I care about knowing what happens, and I care about what people are saying and like the different sides. I've always been really good about seeing all the different sides of something and like agreeing more one way, but also really understanding where people are coming from, even in the most opposing viewpoint. So it was just interesting. You've probably been to a lot of them, huh?
Oh yeah, I love them. They're great. It's like going to a movie. It's like people like to go see Star Wars movies. It's my Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, they're fun. Like if you know the characters,
and
you like the people in the audience. And speaking of authentic, like everything that happens in that final vote has already been decided. Like people go and speak. It's like, do you really think like they already know how they're going to vote every time? Because they make the decision based off of like how they're going to be benefit later. What's the most amount of benefit I'm going to get going forward? Not to say they don't like research it too, but if you have 100 people come up and speak, it's just killing time for the council members. They already know what they're going to say. But that's where the journalism comes in. You give those people a platform. You give them an opportunity. They could be quoted. We take their pictures. They are equal in their weight. But no, I love covering them for sure.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, I don't know. You have to have really thick skin to be on city council or in politics. Like, holy crap, like things people just say to you.
brutal.
Yeah.
They think because you're the mayor, you
Yeah.
can insult your entire
Like,
identity.
I'm like, do you go home and like cry? Like, what? How do you release? Like, do you go to kickboxing? Like, what do you do? Like, I'm like whining about a couple of hate comments, and it's like these people are just getting pummeled with like insults for like 8 hours straight sometimes.
Well, yeah, it is the trade-off. If you put yourself in the public eye, then you open yourself up for that. So you bought a bike.
Yeah.
You ride your bike. You always been a bike rider, but you're getting back into it, I guess.
Yeah. Had some e-bikes. They've broken down. Yeah, I was one of those e-bikers, causing trouble. Just kidding.
Popping wheelies on Stacy.
Yeah. Never learned how to do that. That would be fun, but I'm not trying to show off. I like the Grand. I go there maybe every other week or something. The new jazz club in town.
So you
I know
is
the
this
owners, and they're really nice people. The food is really good. The music is incredible. They have a really fancy sound system. As far as like, I don't really party that much. I will go to, people invite me to stuff, and I'll make an appearance, and I'll, hang out with my friends. But I'm not like a clubber or whatever. I don't know. I don't like hang out. You won't find me like at EOS on the weekend. You won't find me at Wildcat on the weekend. Mm-hmm. If you're looking for me,
you're too busy
I'll be
working.
editing my videos or watching movies with friends or going on adventures, hanging out at the beach, relaxing, just sitting around. I don't know. My favorite moments are when you can actually connect with people. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's hard to do in like a loud kind of party setting. Yeah. So I think that's why I never really liked those. It's like, what are you saying? You're what?
Right. It's like, let's just get out of here if you want to talk. What do we got to be here for?
Yeah. So
were there times in 2020, 21 when you were kind of working multiple jobs when you're like, you know what, this ain't going to work for me. I'm going to go somewhere else where it's more affordable and try something else?
Not recently. Mm-hmm. Maybe in college, I had a boyfriend and we were like, we're going to go to Chicago. That was a weird phase. God, that didn't happen.
Santa Barbara City College?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I stayed here. But yeah, no, I don't really imagine being anywhere else. I like I like Santa Cruz. But I don't know that I would want to live there. I don't know. I'm really happy here until I get canceled. Like I'm gonna.
How are you gonna get canceled?
I don't know. You never know. Maybe from this podcast. What can I say next? No, I'm just kidding. No, anyways, I just love it here, and everyone. I feel like I'm not alone in that. Everyone loves Santa Barbara.
So you've been able to 10x your career. Has that had any, did you move to a different part of town? Do you have sort of a bigger place now? Nope. You're still keeping it humble?
Very, yeah.
You're saving?
I live in a 1904 house.
Wow. That's awesome.
I don't have a full kitchen. It's probably 300 square feet. I have a little balcony, a tiny little ocean view. I am downtown, which is nice, so I can walk and bike everywhere. I don't really have time to cook anyways, so I'm like, okay with the non-kitchen. But it's definitely small. It's definitely a very small space.
Mm-hmm. That's okay with you. You're
I
never
would
home anyway.
Yeah, it gets kind of messy. It's kind of like living in a van in a way. Like you have to organize all the time. Like, oh my God, I'm so tired of organizing. So I do want to get something a little bit. Maybe it would be really nice to have like a home studio or something, so I don't have to set up stuff and take it down every single time. Like that takes so much time and effort. So I want to. Yeah, it would be nice to buy something here too, but I'm like, whoa, how do you even do that? So
it's
expensive.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I think I told you this, but my prediction is your brand is going to continue to grow. You're super just popular right now, and you're trending and you're getting lots of attention. Everyone's talking about you. And I think at some point you're going to be the face of Santa Barbara, bigger than anyone else who's been here for a while or is here now. You are getting media attention, right? The Montecito Journal did a story on you for their magazine.
Yeah.
Talk about that and what it's like to be interviewed, notwithstanding this podcast, but people are taking an interest now where you're now somebody they want to write about, or they want to use to get eyeballs on them. Can you just talk about what that's been like for you?
Yeah, it's like you're just living your life, and then you make some videos, and then all of a sudden people want to write a story about you. I don't know. It's kind of weird. If you told the quiet girl, in high school that would happen, she wouldn't believe you, right? I was never, I don't know, I was kind of quieter. I feel like not even because I was super insecure. I was just really understimulated in school, and I had nothing to say or ask. I was just like, this is so boring.
Yeah.
But what was the question?
The Montecito Journal did a story on you. What was that like? Were you nervous when it was going to come out? Are you excited? It's like someone's going to write it and I don't control it. What's it going to be like?
It was interesting to see the process.
Okay.
It was interesting to be a part of the process because I have really no idea what goes on in these things.
Yeah.
I feel like it did a good job in a lot of ways but it's interesting how from an interview you can maybe I'm really I just want to say I'm really grateful for the Montecito Journal and everything. Yeah. I feel like I was slightly mischaracterized in one little part. And then I'm like, well, if you blow that up to you're an actual celebrity and you're people are mischaracterizing you all the time. Yeah. That must suck. I can't even imagine on that scale. You're things taken out of context. And I don't know how they must need a lot of therapists for that. But no, just the one part where and maybe that's just my interpretation of it, but I was it made it seem like I was trying to go viral.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't trying to go viral. I was just trying to have a couple more views. I was just trying to have a couple 1,000 more views and have a few more people know about my business. I even had a video prior to that telling people don't go viral, especially this is a huge issue now, going viral in the wrong direction is counterproductive to growth for your business. This one girl, she kind of blew up too talking about this. She was I think she was a writer or an artist. Her target demo is women, and she posted some bikini video meme joke thing with her friends or something, and she got a bunch of guys following her because she looked good or whatever, and she got a bunch of maybe oogling guy, and then it was not the right audience for the business that she's growing, and then her views dropped. And I'm kind of wondering if that's happening with me because I partnered with California, not the oogling guys part, but the California. I partnered with California Love on a video, kind of also another prove myself kind of thing. I was I haven't hit 1 million views, and I think I could, and I did, and I think it's 2 million or something. And it's not really my kind of a video, but people liked it and it was cool. But I think I got a bunch of followers from that don't necessarily care about Santa Barbara secret stuff. So I feel like that impacted my reach. But who's to say? Time will tell. And then people overthink things, and they're oh, when's the best time to post? Or gotta post at 9:32 a.m. every day, and I gotta make sure to add these things. And As long as you're posting and people are awake and it's good content and you're consistent, should be good.
Okay. We're going to start
go back on track.
No, that's perfect. I was just trying to like think.
I don't even remember the question. I'm so sorry.
I think the question we were talking about, like local airing and like, did you move? Did you not move your kitchen? Yeah. So I want to move to our lightning round. I want to ask you a few questions that I have for you.
Okay.
And I'm sure other people will be of interest too as well. Okay. So you are a celebrity. You are famous. You're prominent. People want to know these things. Okay. So, all right. So it's not really going to be a lightning round because I can't be that fast. But what's your favorite genre of music?
According to Spotify Wrapped, it was pop rap.
Pop rap.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your favorite pop rap song, or do you have a favorite rap song?
I don't have a favorite. My most listened to was Joyner Lucas. I like Connor Price. I like Eminem. I like Logic. I also like other like poppy people. I don't know. I like indie. I like these. One of my favorite artists ever is Oliver Malcolm, but no one knows. I mean, shouldn't say no, but it's a very niche. And then Joe P. I don't know. Just like niche indie artists, and then rap, and then like some electronic stuff. I don't know. I'm all over the map. It's kind of hard. So.
Are you listening to rap in Minnesota, or is it California?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I started with Eminem like in middle school.
Oh okay. Yeah. You have a favorite Eminem song?
Ooh, that's so hard. Rap God is fun. I know
Rap God. Keep going.
My little party trick. No, I'm not gonna do that right now. I kind of have to have the song going. What else? I think my first song I heard from them was Not Afraid.
Oh yeah, that's a good song.
That album. And like Love the Way You Lie and all that stuff, the classics.
Have you seen 8 Mile?
Is this a lightning round?
Well, no, it's not lightning round.
How slow does this lightning strike?
Yes, this is the gap between the thunder and the lightning.
This is like a thunderstorm.
Exactly. Okay.
A tornado.
So no, it's a lightning round with a few pauses in the middle. Okay. So, what do you listen to like motivate you? Like you're just down, you're having a bad day. Like I put on Billy Joel music because I love Billy Joel. I love Scenes from an Italian Restaurant, Piano Man, even Allentown. These remind me of like time spent with my mother. It reminds me when I was a kid, when I was hopeful. So there's a little bit of that, but also like very well written, so like when I need a space of like motivated, these aren't like fast, not afraid songs, but they're songs that meaning to me. Do you have those kinds of songs that you go to?
It's so hard because I think the music scene has changed so much, and now you have like Spotify, which is pushing out all these different artists. You have such a diversity in like the art and the music and the artists, and so I'm making the long lightning round even longer here. But
we're officially changing the
name. There's a lot. Like if you go through my artists, I'm like I don't even know the names of everyone because it's so diverse. And then I find stuff on social media now. I think a lot of people find music they like. You hear it. People like labels are now telling their artists to basically write for TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Which is crazy. And a lot of them hate it and are leaving the labels and stuff. But like, whoa, like things are, but it's true. That's where a lot of people are finding their music, including myself. So I don't know. I would say I could grab my phone and like start listing people, but they're just like, I'm just so all over the map. I don't know.
I just thought like somebody wants to listen to what Ari listens to and feel as one. What song would that be? But it sounds like it's who you mentioned.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the sound of like the background music. You'll notice a lot of funky. It's like funk, hip hop, pop, like in a lot of my videos, or like some Spanish, like Latin jazz, or I don't know. And I guess I don't really know genres enough, but you can kind of get a sense.
All right. You have a favorite lunch spot?
Depends.
Jersey Mike's.
Anything with a sandwich. Tino's, South Coast Deli. I guess I end up going to Savoy because it's by KIVA. And yeah, I just end up going to places that are close by. Empty Noodle Bowl is really good.
Oh yeah, the public market.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite place to grab a beer, glass of wine, spot like that, if you do that?
I don't usually do that, but I like cider, so wherever I can get a cider.
Coffee? Favorite coffee spot?
For the vibes, Kage.
Definitely.
For the coffee, yeah. Haley and Arlington.
Yeah.
And Ventura. Have you been to Kage in Ventura?
I never have been there.
Super cool.
I got to go there.
In like an old Victorian house.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were out there.
Yeah. They're taking over the world.
It's good.
Yeah.
Like Visionary Content.
I don't know. Sounds like a lot of responsibility. I don't know if I want that either. I got to figure out long-term vision.
We're getting there next.
Yeah.
We're almost wrapping up. That's my last question, but we're not done with this.
I thought this was the end.
No.
But like coffee, I like Dune. I like Handlebar, I think, for the coffee taste.
All right, now I want you to think.
But then I like matcha. So then it's like, okay,
Ooh.
You have kin, which is so good.
If you can wait.
Yeah, and I can't anymore.
Plus,
they should expand. Anyways.
If you waited in line at Ken, you'd be signing autographs and taking selfies for that full hour.
I don't know if that's I think it's a lot of UCSB students.
Well, college students are watching you.
Some of them. I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah. Okay. I want you to think long and hard about the answer to this next question.
Oh, okay.
Favorite journalist? Okay. Moving on.
No, obviously, Motown.
Motown Josh News.
Motown.
Yeah. Yes.
I actually don't know a lot of journalists. Well, I guess I know some. But no, you're like very genuine person. And also you're like the editor, so you're like in a position of like power. That I don't know, I feel like that's kind of a rare combination. Mm-hmm. And great power, great responsibility, and you're doing a great job with it. And I'm excited to see the new news press.
Yes.
And also potentially collab on like reminiscing with some of the old news press too, yes. And like the deep roots.
That would be awesome. And what was I going to say? Oh, now I forgot what I was saying. Yes, it is cool to be in this role. I was going to say something, but I didn't say it in the moment. But yeah, thank you. Yeah. Yes, I really like that.
How does it feel?
Well, okay, so if we're just breaking away from the Josh interviewing Ari, and you're asking me a question.
Break away.
So, my professional life has been very difficult. And so, I got hired at the News Press in 99, got married in 2003. That's bad. Okay, yes. And then it's supposed to be like my life, right? Beginning, this is great. So we're going to have kids and all this. And this old news press meltdown happens and I quit. And like professionally, like life has never been as good. Like it's been bad. It was worse because when you're a journalist, like first of all, there aren't a lot of journalism jobs today. Even back then, the industry was shrinking. There was no place else for me to work because no one paid anything. You know, the Independent was, they hired some columnists and whatever, and good job for doing that, but they didn't like pick up staff writers or the reporter. So I left. I went to San Jose, but it was very tough because I had a 1-year-old son at this time in 2006. Okay, so I got married in 2005. Okay, there, now I remember. I had a 1-year-old son in 2006. And it's like you got to go to your wife or your partner and be like, I don't have money. I don't have a job. I just quit my job because of ethics. And they're like, what? Like, if you don't have the journalism gene, you're like, what the heck? You quit your job because of ethics? We just got married and we have a baby, you know? Mm-hmm. But it's like you can't, your product in journalism is the truth. If you can't have full control, regardless of whether people think are biased, like you can't sell something if the management ownership is telling you what to write or what not to write. Mm-hmm. And so I went up to the Bay Area. I worked at the San Jose Mercury News for 2.5 years by myself. My wife decided not to move. And so I would do this commute from Solvang, where we lived at the time, to San Jose. I lived all over the place, Menlo Park, Los Gatos. I lived in Santa Cruz. And so it was tough because eventually I had to make this decision of the San Jose Mercury News was the best job I ever had. It paid me $84,000 in 2006 a year. It was like, wow, this is amazing. It almost doubled my newspress salary at the time. And so I was like, I'm going to do this. And then your wife's like, well, I'm not going. So I have to make this decision. I would drive back Thursday night and then stay there at our house in Solvang and leave Sunday morning. And then my son, when they're 1, like, they can't communicate, whatever. But then my son started to cry when I was 3, when I would leave on Sundays. And so I was like, you talk about breaking the cycles and all of that is, my upbringing was not what you said. It was, there was tension is the word you used. Okay. There was tension in my house. And so my goal in life has always been, like, not really to be the best husband, but to be the best father. Like, that has been number one, to be the best father I could be. And so when your kids started crying, there's no replacement for time. I don't care how much money you make. Time is the most important thing. And so, like, I got to get back, because if I say, oh, I'm going to stay here and I'll keep sending the checks home, well, eventually the marriage is going to end. And I'm not going to be home. I'm not even going to have my kids. And so I gave up this, like, incredible job to come home. But it was worth it. But I didn't have any good income still, because there are no journalism jobs that pay well. And so, but I got to spend time with my son, which is the most important thing, whether it's like married or divorced or separated or complicated or whatever it is. You can't get those years back. So I came back and I just started getting scrappy. I worked God knows how many different places. I got hired at City College in 2009, so I've been a part-timer ever since then. And I'm just working, like, I worked at Newsock for 12 years with no health insurance. They don't pay health benefits. When I quit, I was making $25 an hour, like, at 50 years old. Like, it's like, but I had my city call, like, I've always had to have multiple jobs. And so when the newspress thing came up, it was like, whoa, this place is back. We all thought it would be gone forever because they filed for bankruptcy. And, oh, they're hiring an editor. I should apply for that. And, oh, they're a nonprofit. Oh, they're paying a lot, relative to what I was getting paid. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try this. But then I was like, oh, these, like, you're too old now. They're going to hire someone who's like 35. They're going to do all this stuff. And so to be able to, after all of those sacrifices, to spend time with my kids, because I had one, now I have a daughter, essentially giving up your career to be the, like, journalist in the big market, to be able to say, I'm just going to be a medium to big size fish in a small pond. And that's just my life, because I'd rather be able to be on the baseball field with my son at 3:00 or the basketball court. I cannot go through life. I will hate myself at the end if I didn't spend time with my kids. That's more important than anything else. And so I've done everything in my life to make sure I spend time with my kids. And they will tell you today, like, you spend too much time, get out of the house, Dad, but their tanks are full. Like there is no deficit there. And so like, well, hey, Josh, they're hiring this job. I'm like, awesome. I want to go work there. So I applied and they hired me. So you asked me, how does it feel? It's unreal. It's amazing because I never thought that I would be able to ever work at the news press again, to get paid like decent Santa Barbara wages, but better than what I was working before, and get health benefits. And all of that stuff makes just, you have a high standard for yourself, which is very impressive. You know your worth, you know your value. You're not going to settle for anything. People want to work with you, they're going to have to pay you. I didn't grow up with that. Like, I grew up with a very Mexican American mentality of like, we're hardworking and we're just happy to be at the table. I've undervalued myself for my entire life because I just want to be included. I just want to be part of it. But what I've learned with and I try to instill in my kids is that you have value, you have worth, and you have to hold out for that, and you have to believe in yourself. And so that's I think that's probably why we're here today, because the reason I asked you to coffee, the reason why we had conversations about this after meeting you was like, holy cow, this Ari is a freaking hard worker. This is not a joke to her. This is not a throw on a different pair of clothes and style your hair different and become a persona that I'm going to sort of just get people looking at me with. You have hustled, and that's like, I respect that. And so it took me years to do that. You have it already. So that's really cool. I want
to jump in for a second.
Okay. So I'll shut up now. How does it feel? It feels great.
We're going to go back to that. I just want to jump in. Valuing myself was not been it's not been there my whole life. I would say I do resonate with that of like, as a woman, you really are taught to just people please and blah, 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 and undervalue yourself and what you bring to the table, I think, too. And I guess, maybe you're like, okay, you did it earlier than me, and that's what you're saying. But I just started pricing for living here. Yeah. And it's still uncomfortable. But it's like, girls gotta eat. I gotta eat. It's expensive. It's expensive having a business. And 9 out of 10 businesses fail. I think a lot of times they're not charging enough. So, yeah, it is. I would say it's still uncomfortable. But, yeah, it's a journey, and I think a lot of people struggle with that, But, yeah.
Sorry. You didn't value yourself? Something happened where you started to, or you're still learning to value yourself?
I think it's a combination. I think I bring a lot of value to people and the businesses, and I can bring even more in the future. I think I'm hitting a capacity problem now, but I would say in the past, I don't know. I think going where you're valued to, or I would like work with clients who didn't value my vision, or, if you work with, a lot of times the lower budget clients are like the biggest pain in the butt. And so just kind of settling for certain treatment in my personal life, in my business life, just learning how the right way to be treated and the right way to treat other people, I think also translates to business. But anyways, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say I wasn't taught to value myself. I kind of had to force myself into it, or watch a lot of motivational speeches. But it is hard, and it is a journey, and I know that I'm sure that you It's not like just women, obviously, too. Like men feel that too.
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of
yeah.
I've had a lot of bosses in my life tell me we can't pay you this, but we really value you.
Yeah.
So it's like that doesn't help, So learning that psychological treatment, and they know that. Like everyone who knows me knows, oh, Josh is a hard worker. He'll do it because he can't not do it. So we don't even need to pay him. And so being able to come back and it's like, wow, I'm actually getting somebody who's valuing me. This is really cool. And so yeah, that's how I was going. As we wrap up, Ari, where do you see yourself in 5 years, in 10 years? And maybe you want to live in the moment, but what does the future hold for Visionari Content?
We'll see. Worst answer possible.
No.
I guess like I said before, I want to create a company with a healthy culture. Multiple shooters, multiple editors, cranking out content. I think I want to serve more people. I'm trying to figure out how to set up for consulting right now because there's a lot of small businesses in need of like social media and marketing help that don't have the budget or, just don't meet our price point. But I want to serve everyone and I want to help everyone. Yeah. And maybe that's the people pleaser in me, but maybe that's just me wanting to make the most impact. I don't know. So we'll see if I can set that up. I think I'm blowing up at a pace that's hard to keep up with. Like, I should have like big investment, like in order, because you gotta have like enough cash fallback if you're gonna grow fast. Like I didn't even take any business classes, so I'm trying to learn business and trying to figure everything out mostly on my own. But where do I see myself in 5 years? Still here. Hopefully, still making impact, still telling stories. I just don't know if I want to expand to other cities or not, or if I just want to keep it local. I don't know. I think there are positives and negatives too. I'd like to make it a little bit more remote. I don't know. This is a tough question. You got me stumped here on the end. 5-10 years. That means my personal life? I think I'm going with the flow. Maybe I'm going with the flow too much. Santa Barbara's very go with the flow, though. I guess I just want to be more involved. I think I want to be more involved in the community. And more, just have a little space, like have a little office would be nice, and have like not working. I think 8 hours is too long. Right. But and then have, like I said, about the European vacation kind of thing. And so just create a healthy work-life balance in a nation where that's pretty rare. Yeah. But also be creative and grow people's businesses and brands and work with more organizations. And it's hard working, I want to work with more nonprofits. But it depends on funding and stuff that they're getting. And funding's really slashed right now in a lot of organizations. Yeah. I'm super off topic. But basically, where do I see myself in 5 years? I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
where do you see yourself in 5 years? Were you in news press? You don't have to answer this.
We'll see. No, just kidding.
Copying me. You can't say that. You can't copy me.
I will be working for Visionari Content as. I'm
out of here. This is over.
What? I don't know. Hopefully doing what I'm doing now.
European vacation?
Yes. I'm going to freeze time. I'm never going to age. My kids are always going to be the same right now, and I'll be happy. No, I don't know. I mean, hopefully doing what I'm doing and just happy with life, and my kids are near me and everything's going good. I mean, I don't know. I try not to think about too much in the future because it'll drive you nuts, insane, but just trying to be in the moment and the best I can be today. Who knows what opportunities are going to unfold and all of that. So
I guess I could say I want to do more community event. I want to do more bringing people instead of just being this person online. I want to bring people together more. And that's why I'm hesitant to say in 5 years, because I want to do this way sooner than 5 years. But just have more I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah.
But
well, I do know whatever you be, you're going to be very successful, and I think you're going to blow up even bigger than you already are. And the sky's the limit.
I'm good. That's enough. It's enough. Yeah, people are still following me even when I'm not posting.
You will take over the Amazon building, and it will be the Visionari Content building one day, and you will have 100 people working for you. I want to be in
El Paseo.
Okay, well, that's possible.
But no, I don't know. No, I don't know.
Well, Ari, thank you for your time. I appreciate the conversation. It's such a pleasure to be able to talk to you in this format and do it at KIVA Co-work in this impressive facility with your impressive gear. And thank you. I think it's been a wonderful conversation. I appreciate learning so much about you.
Thanks for having me on Best Santa Barbara Podcast.
Yes, and best celebrity, best Instagram influencer, content creator, best everything. There you go.
Nice.
That's my endorsement. All right. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.